What is up, everybody? It's RDV back again. Talk about the best books of the week, or at least the books I enjoyed. And I'm joined by Eric Breen and Geekeasy. He's here instead of being at work. Must have a day off. All right, I guess I'll just jump in the books then. No one's talking.
Yeah, I did. It's my day for my floating holiday for Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Really?
Yes.
Ah.
And I decided to just, since they were being petty on stuff, I decided to take tomorrow and Saturday off and make it a 5-day weekend.
Wow.
Just to piss them off. And get paid for today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
All right, as long as you're not pissing them off and they decide to let you go.
Oh, I enjoy doing the first, and I don't care if they do the second. I have a job interview, a telephone job interview tomorrow morning, so
always make sure you have their job first before you lose the one job.
It doesn't matter to me, man.
Well, when
I like that job,
when you don't have the cash to pay for stuff and you're starving, yeah,
I can afford to lose a couple pounds.
Well, you can't afford to live in your car and freeze to death. So, anyway, though. All right. Let's jump right into this. Here. And, nope, wrong one.
Hey, Venkman.
Yeah.
Is the new Star Trek show Starfleet Academy?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
I know that's one of the new ones. I don't know if there's another one after that, but I just know that it's a bunch of overweight people in there that are women and a few guys. Which a lot of people laughed about because, like, how are you obese in like that future when you have all the technology to make you look like everyone prior to this? Everyone was all in shape.
And one of the recruits who you made it to Starfleet. She said that she swallowed one of her combat. That's the people who make it into someone who made it into
right.
The reason why I asked that is Joe Rogan gave a shout out to Eric July.
Oh, cool.
And Aaron Spirits, has anybody checked on your boy? And I said, I don't want to interrupt him while he's watching his Star Trek show.
Oh, I thought he
simped so fucking hard for that.
Nice.
He was simping gay claims today.
I was gonna say the other boy might be choked on his pizza. I saw that. I don't know if they still have beef between each other, but it was him and EVS were always kind of like
I'm sure it's one-sided.
Well, yeah, Eric July is making money. He doesn't care. He was making well money before he got into the comic book business. He was established in the music industry and stuff, and then YouTube. So, but yeah, it's funny how people are just jealous of other people's success.
No, there's a little bit more to it than that, but it's Eric is successful. I mean, Ethan's successful. Zach was, before he lost his mind.
Well, I'm not talking about. I was talking about Zach. Zach is another case. He needs therapy.
He needs something.
He needs friends. I don't think he has friends offline.
Well, the ones he's so desperate to court will turn on him, at the drop of a hat, and he knows that because he used to say that in his videos.
That's the way it goes, though.
Yep.
But all right, though, we're not here to talk about old news from like 4 or 5 years ago.
Well, no, it was old news from today. I mean, I think it was today's podcast where Joe Rogan mentioned him, so it was timely.
I know, but I mean the other stuff after that. Anyway, all right, so jump in the books here. All right, Walking Dead. We got here this issue number 131. This is the new cover. I believe this is Finch. I'm not sure it's on the cover here. Yeah, it's Finch. Yeah, it says on his leg. So brand new cover. Original cover in the back here by Charlie Adlard. They're in the Whisper War right now, which has been kind of cool. And I'm not sure how much longer this book's gonna go on. I mean, I think there's 100. They're 131, so it had to be like 140 or 150. can't remember. But it's actually been a really cool, nice thing to see everything all actually in clear here. And there's a lot, as I was talking to Morani and for the people offline, you can actually see things that you may have missed the first time. You know, and yeah, so if you've never read The Walking Dead, and maybe you didn't want to read it because it was black and white like me, I actually sit down. Was it 2 years ago? I sat down and read the whole entire thing in black and white, and then I decided to, since I never collected it, I started picking these out. These are Walking Dead Deluxe, and it comes a little story in the back. It's called Small Bites. It's an ongoing story they've had in the back here. Plus, they'll show the other variant covers. That's Finch's art. That's freaking fantastic. I love that. I can understand why Wes is all excited when he sees Finch on doing interior art. Hero RDV hasn't discussed that book yet. What are you talking about? Oh, Here for Hire. No, yeah, I just started, man. I haven't got to the Ultimate Spider-Man. We'll get there. So, yeah, I did be picking these up. All right. Getting to my number 7 book here. The bottom of the pile here. Thundercats. This is number 24. And I was hoping that the series would pick up, get a little more exciting. This was as boring as a reading. What's it? The new history of the DC universe. I'm sorry, it is dull. You give me an action cover like this. The inside is a continued story where he's Lionel's has a key unlock the Book of Omens. The Book of Omens and have a conversation the whole entire book, and it gives us a repeat of everything that's happened on Third Earth and the history of Thundera, and the biggest shocking reveal is the fact that the Thundercats, their original home was Third Earth, but they were driven away to go to a new planet, but now they're all back on there, and he's shown they're basically connecting the books. There's Thundercats Lost, which are other Thundercats who had basically gone to the Third Earth before Lionel's team arrived there. And yeah, so we're gonna have some more meets up in the future, but now he's got the full power of the book and it's the sword and it says how they're connected. So, but overall, I said it was just like, all right, I don't need this. I don't need a recap of what's going on and telling about other animes. It was just so freaking dull. I don't know. I kind of wanted to drop the book after reading this, but maybe we'll get better. But this was $5. I can't pay $5 just for cool cover. I'll right click and save as if I have to. All right, number 6, Wolverine. Number 16, the conclusion of a 2-part story, which a lot of people are complaining online like, why was it only 2 parts? If you've never read original X-Men, a lot of stuff wrapped up in 2 issues. It's still ongoing subplots. But all right. So, and I love it when comic books do this. It gives you a previous, what's going on there, and tells you about the Morlocks. Had basically came from New York, moved up to Canada to try to escape persecution. And the Department H pretty much wants to take him in, and but Wolverine and Silver Sable said, "Fuck that." So the last issue, one of the generals from Department H has a weapon that they use to give Wolverine a cardiac arrest every time he's near. And they got it because he's like, because Wolverine was like, how the heck are you causing this? So he says, well, your friend Puck, when you first met him, he tagged you on the back of your shoulder. So, plus we had your sample of your DNA from the last time you and I shook hands with the woman we met her past. And so they're able to basically use it on his device on him. So some of the kids that he was the mutants that he was basically training, were taken into custody. There's 2 of them that weren't. And of course, the Morlocks are kind of pissed off because they came across the new Vindicator who was trying to basically torture some of the mutants. So, and they said, well, we don't do that shit here. We don't torture in department in Alpha Flight. And so they end up getting attacked by the other mutants, and also taking out Vindicator. Silver Sable gets around 2 with the new Vindicator. Those ones kind of cool. So, one of the girls, her powers is that basically she can create shadow clones of your body and use them to fight you. And they have your powers. If you're a mutant, for a limited time, she can use it. The other one is able just to take anything he wants, put it inside his stomach, and dissolves it. It's just a weird power, mutant ability, but comes useful. This time around, Silver Sable has the hands up because now she has she claims the last time you went up on me because I had no cover, So now that I have cover, and Silver Sable takes it out easily in the book. The people who are complaining about that kind of last issue were kind of irritated by that. But this issue, they kind of wrap it up and give you an explanation. And we also in this book also too, we have Silver Sable tells her about her armor. She's able to basically have some sort of camouflage she can activate, and she also is able to use her scope, and she can pinpoint the weak point on the Vindicator suit, which shoots her in the leg, causes her to crash. Wolverine takes this opportunity, basically go after the lady with the device, but she hits the device again, causing him to go into cardiac arrest. And pretty much we see Wolverine, and it's a really cool art here of this. I think this is Mark Henderson. Mike or Mark, you remember what it was, but it's actually pretty decent art. And while he's doing that, Wolverine's basically he's trying to keep the kids so they can escape. So he's gonna risk his life. The other girl comes in, uses her powers to attack the girl. She drops the device, and of course the kid, I'm telling you, his stomach, he can dissolve things. They put the device in his stomach and dissolves it. So now she's gonna try and shoot him, But Wolverine pops up in the back here, and cuts her gun, and basically says it's like we're leaving. It's like you lost. You're surrounded. Give up. And she says we'll be back. And he's like, yeah, we'll be gone. See you around, Inspector. And that's kind of how it ends. That's the last page. Was that? Very cliche. I've seen this before in probably other Wolverine books or even X-Men books. So it's not the groundbreaking, exciting stuff you're gonna get from as you would have back then when they first did the stories. It's kind of recycled a little bit, a little watered down. But I've only read 2 issues of this series. This is issue 16. I read 15 and 16. I haven't gone back and read the original issues of this run. I guess some people were not excited by this run, but there's no Krakoa bullshit. There's no Days of Armageddon or whatever that crap. It just felt like a normal Wolverine book. So pretty cool. I liked it. And this was $5. Now I don't like the price. It's $5, but that's what all comic books are going up to now. They're going to jack the prices up again because it's a popular name title that's been around for a while. You have to pay $4.99. And
Marvel would put $4.99 on a cocktail menu.
Are you kidding me? Cocktail menus are probably, if they were a bar, oh my gosh, they a $2 shots you get the bars back in the day, the little peppermint things are now like $10 because it has the Marvel name on it or Disney name. All right. So that was it. I think that's yeah. All right, now we're going to the top 5. Vampirella Armageddon number 8. This is Vampirella versus Hemorrhage. If you're not sure who that character is, this character was able to control blood in anybody's body, use it as a weapon or armor. He was introduced by Tom Sonosky back in the Vampirella Harris days, Adventures of Vampirella, where Vampirella ended up killing him. This story takes place in Hell, and it's a little blasphemous if you're religious. I do not recommend it if that's because they introduce God into this, and he's in Jesus's form, the creator, and he reveals that basically it's like there was order and chaos, and life blossomed upon the fledgling earth. They provided him with the near endless torrent of amusement, the version that even after constant millennia they still provide him today. He's taken the name of Ambrose, a pathetic citizen of hell whose misfortune had made him the possession of one of the most infernal realms of nomadic desert tribes. And literally, this guy interrupts them, and God says no, and kills him. It's like really? It's weird. So then it's revealed the old couple, or not the couple, but you had the kid and the woman who were in hell. Well, it turns out they are actually just chaos and order, and they recognize that they're who's been controlling everything is actually God, who has been causing all this chaos. Literally, I feel like I'm just reading Supernatural, where it turns out God's been missing this whole entire time, but it turns out he's just a big asshole. Vampirella, who is being held prisoner by one of the two warring factors in hell. There's for going for power, and her Vampirella throughout the series since 2019 or 2020 when they brought the series back, her dark side has been battling with her, for control. So now her the evil side, and her just when it was revealed that her mother Lilith had is made a deal to basically, hey, free me from this body so I can have my own body. Whereas Lilith, she had sinned, and then she eventually she repented in the Garden of Eden, and she was cleansed of her evil side, and but her evil dark side went into Vampirella when she was born. So Vampirella's learned of this, though, that this guy is going to try and, basically free her dark side. She's trying to prevent that, and since God knows this, explains what's going on. He's like, it's intriguing. He's like, I need to. Turns out he tells a story about her mother, Lilith, stuff. The opposing personnel appears to have its own agenda. And he says, I'm curious. I'm extremely curious as to what it'll be. And you're like, what? You don't know? Yeah, isn't that the fun part? I don't know what's going to happen next. But meanwhile, Hemorrhage in his full blood armor, which he's basically used it from all the victims he's been killing in hell for fun, is going to fight against, Vampirella's allies, and he's able to basically show that they're no match for him. And he's basically called off by his boss, the one who hired him, the one who's basically sent there to go look for Vampirella killer. And they told him to leave and return. So he ends up doing that. And pretty much he says for 5 dedicated to the same goal of finding Vampirella and getting her out of hell, it could be doable. So what do you think? You guys want to join up, Hemorrhage and Vampirella's allies, to get her out of hell? Because his boss doesn't want Vampirella in hell. It causes the mess. And he wants to rule without her being there. Meanwhile, Cain wakes up in a pit of bodies, and because he's cursed to live forever, he's immortal. This guy who's basically in hell, he's starving. And the guy's like, dude, you're a ghoul. It's like you're not. Ghouls are kind of frowned upon because, they're untrustworthy and they're unclean. So he's sitting there eating the arm, and then all of a sudden, when Cain gets up, they both freak out, and they run away. Cain's searching for his weapon, the hell gun that he's separated from, the worm gun, So he's following it because they have a connection to it. And this is all being told by God to the chaos and order, what's going on. Meanwhile, Vampirella has been having this conversation with their evil self, and just based on you're never gonna get free. And at the end, Vampirella ends up, they have the rituals done. It's revealed, and then she's basically going to the guys doing the ritual, separating the bodies. And very end, it's Vampirella versus Vampirella. This is so. This was cover A, and this was let's see here, $4.99. And honestly, this is a lot better than the Wolverine one. But the Wolverine was, I said, was very cliche. I think the Wolverine, I gave that 3 out of 5, mainly because of the fact it's nothing new. There's nothing added to it. But this has been a fun, ongoing story, especially if you started out reading the original events of Vampirella back in the 90s, and I could just continue reading that through that series. This has been in the making. Vampirella going to be going against her dark nature. That's been like a subplot, ongoing subplot. So I'm kind of cool to see they're actually going to like bring it to fruition and and put an end to it. All right, then we get on to number 4, which is G.I. Joe. This is issue number 19. G.I. Joe, we left off basically the Ravagers were in the desert, and they were attacking Duke and his buddies, but Hound actually revealed who he was, even though Clutch didn't want him to, and he saves them. Meanwhile, the Joes have a problem. Someone is posing as Colonel Hawk, and all he wants is Energon. He's basically I think he's working for Cobra Law, the same one that Commander Cobra's from. I'm not sure who he is. I know I've seen his face before, but I'm not sure who that is. But anyway, regardless, he wants the control on the Energon for himself and for whoever he's working for. And then back in the desert, Duke is now Duke is actually kind of irrational. This is really out of character for Duke, at least what I've read so far in the series. But Duke is upset. He thinks that this robot is the one that killed his friend, even though he knows rational mind, he knows it's not a Starscream. And he doesn't trust them. He thinks they're all evil and wants to basically interrogate them. Where Clutch is like, dude, knock this shit off. This isn't you. You don't shoot, first and ask questions. And he's like, and of course, it's revealed that his other friend knows about this too, and says, and he tries to convince him. And he's like, dude, how many of you guys know about this? And we're telling me, he's like, and I love how the girls are like, we have no idea what's going on, and just Duke's been being irrational. So I thought it was kind of weird, on his anger stuff. He wants this whole series started off with Duke. The 5-issue miniseries where Duke was heading home in the back of a jet, and Starscream comes up and basically grabs the jet. They both eject, but Starscream grabs his friend and just kind of squishes them while he's parachuting down. And Duke has been like hell bent for getting revenging his friend's death, no matter what. So pretty much, he thinks he's gonna like attack Hound, even though Hound says is being nice to himself. Clutch ends up attacking him down, and basically it says like, here, we're gonna go back to the pit, and we're gonna get information out there. If he's a good guy, he'll come with us. He'll surrender, come with us willingly. We also get a thing. We get back to introduction of a new character, Tracker, who's been there, I guess. His first name's Matt. He's basically known as his cover's blows up his garage and goes off the grid, and he's been contacting with somebody else. Finally, he's contacted by one of the agents that works for the Transformers. That he's one of and they're looking for a guy who basically who deceived them, so they need his help. Meanwhile, we got the Joes back there, and everyone's pretty much like complaining about how much sand they get on their boots and how hard it is to get out of the leather and shit. The girls are laughing about that. And Stryker's like, dude, it's like, you guys have something to laugh about. We got our asses kicked. We need better weapons upgrades. Of course, the guy massacring as Hawk comes in, says, you know what, I'm gonna split you guys up in smaller teams, and we're gonna go go get this Energon, because we need Energon in order to stay relevant. So he's gonna use the Joes to track the different get Energon. And he says, Baroness, Stalker, and Risk, you're in one team. So you guys are going to go to Badixstan. It's a war-torn and mostly abandoned, but there are going to be scans of Energon in the east region. Cover Girl, you'll be connecting with Harlan, Moore, a.k.a. Snowjob. He's lost eyes on an undercover agent that might be needing info. So that Snowjob, we last saw him in the Scarlet miniseries, so it sounds like they're going to bring Snowjob in, and they're also going to bring in Scarlet into the fold, into the G.I. Joes soon. Because they keep increasing the roster. And then, of course, Duke and Clutch are kind of like having a conversation with Hound, and Hound says, like, hey, I'll tell you everything you need to know. We're my Autobot. We're in a war with Decepticons, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't been able to contact my boss, Optimus Prime, because my transponder is damaged, and the only guy who can fix it is actually the one guy that Clutch knows, and that's Tracker. And Tracker's on the lam. So they need to contact Tracker, who meanwhile they said he was speaking with the agent at the little construction derby kind of thing going on there, or a monster truck thing. Of course, it's interrupted by by the bad guys, because we're also looking for Tracker. They use the agent to find him, and it's what's his name? Scrap Iron is the guy who's basically there in the monster truck. So they leave it at that. This was cover B, and this was on the cover here. This was he says on the cover price here. Does it say the price? Yeah, $3.99. Definitely recommend it. G.I. Joe Transformers have been like the two ongoing series through Skybound has been awesome. All right. Then we're going into my number 3, which is a book that just came out. It was a brand new issue series by Kyle Starks, Steve Pugh. This is the new Vertigo book, End of Life, which the character kind of reminds me of Ricky Lawless a lot in this. I'm not shocked that people are just saw how popular that is and they're going to do their own thing, but he's pretty much the main character in here too is Eddie Stallion. Eddie Stallion turns out he was hired to do a job to rob people and stuff, and he's kind of a punk. But he's an excellent hitman, and he's typical fashion. His character comes off kind of like he's a know-it-all, but he's not that bright. He didn't graduate from high school. He said that much. That's how stupid he is. But he's good with guns and able to hold himself on. And it turns out the people that they robbed, Eddie Stallion is part of the society. It's a society of criminals, and they each have different monarch names. There's the Raven, there's the Wolf, the Jackal, all that stuff. And it turns out you're not supposed to rob from other people in the group. That's an act of basically yourself killed. And of course, he's informed that's who they robbed. They're robbing the Raven, and he's pretty much fucked over now, and he has to go on the lam. He kills the guys that basically that do the job. He's pissed. He has to go back home in order to hide out for a while. And Eddie Eddie is not that bright of a person. He's very arrogant, and they tell you everything he has in his backpack. So he has some extra clips. One's armor piercing, and one's normal hollow points. So he goes back to home to the town of Pluto, where he's from. And Pluto, I guess, was a town where this you had a comic a writer. You know, it says, "Hey, what happened to the theme park?" Well, they closed it down. They talk to this lady at the gas station. And she says, "So yeah, they found out the dude who made that comic strip was all into all sorts of awful bullshit: white supremacy, Nazi propaganda, grooming fans, drugs, all sorts of nasty stuff." And the guy's name is Richard Smiley. Is the guy? So I'm not going to connect the dots and say they're talking about anybody in the comic book industry. I'm not going to read into that. You can if you want to. But except Eddie, they really make Eddie a complete kind of an asshole, but he's able to somehow survive by dumb luck. Because he's in there, he's like, hey, he was gonna steal some stuff off the shop, and he's like, the little kid comes in, he's like, hey, me and my mom will live in the gas station. He's like, okay, who gives a shit? And he's like, do you like wrestling? I was like, what's wrong with you, kid? You some kind of reet? And he's gonna call him a retard. And she's like, I know you weren't gonna call, use the R word on my boy. He's like, I'm trying to be offensive, just to know how to say things. And she's like, no, he's not mentally disabled. He's just an 8-year-old boy. And 8-year-old boys are dumb as hell. No. And she yells at her son to get in the office. These guys show up. They think they're gonna rob the gas station, and he basically dispatched them easily. And then he ends up asking her for directions, and he ends up going back home. And he realized that he had a bad relationship with his father. His father, I guess, was an asshole to him growing up. And I'm not sure how connected his father was, the crime stuff, but basically it's like, he's like you got some balls coming out here, boy. You hear what happened last time? He's like, remember, Dad, you threw me out and threatened to kill me if I ever came back. He's like, So they have an argument here too, talking about, is asking, hey, what happened to so and so, the girl he was with. He's like, the reason I threw you out, boy, because you ruined Christmas for Ruth. And you know how I wouldn't feel about Christmas. He's like, how did I ruin Christmas? You're an asshole, Eddie. You ruin everything. Bragging, explicitity, and detail about your hits, your sexual contest at Christmas dinner, insulting your food, insulting the house, generally acting like insufferably superior. For God's sake, Eddie, you brought 3 gold-digging whores for Christmas. He's like, I did not bring 3. Okay, later I did find out one was a sex worker. So they have some subtle humor like that. Very different from any DC books I read. Was Hitman was a DC book, wasn't that? But I don't think it wasn't as crass as this, was it?
Well, it was, technically still code approved. So
okay.
it was great, but
But this comes off as like somebody wants to copy the Brubaker thing and put it in a DC vertical title. That's what I'm getting when I read this. So
I don't have to read it to know that if they're trying to be Brubaker, they're falling short.
Yeah. Well, my opinion, I think they are. When after reading Criminal and stuff, a guy is now because he robbed the wrong people, and now they have a bounty on his head, and he's trying to hide out with his stepfather who does not like him because he's an asshole, and even threatens to kill him. And he finds out that the dude's dying. And at the end, he's like, he's so stupid. He's like, he's like, you should be in a hospital. He's like, hospice, He's like, and turns out the last good thing he had in his life was his girlfriend back at the time when he was 14. And this is like, hey, it's like, he's like, she didn't even say goodbye. She just fucking left me with that piece of shit. He's saying his mom died. I can't remember if his mom died or or she just left him. But he says like and so he's freaking out with the girl. Sophie is the name of the girl, and he's talking about it and display how he's left me with that piece of shit guy. He doesn't care me. He's gonna ship me off to some weird school. I know. And she's like, I don't even know how you even like me. And so she's like, I don't know either. But she says love is complicated. So So then we have the minions, or the people working for the Raven stuff, and he's given the information about this character, putting in this perspective they're going to come after him and Bonnie. So the dad comes up with a shotgun outside the room and thinks he's going to put a gun to him and kill him, but he ends up saying, "Not this time, old man," and he gives him like oatmeal. He's like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And he's like, "It's breakfast. You think I'm going to drive 45 to an hour just to go to the grocery store every fucking day?" So he's like, "Eat this from the gas station, you know." And then, of course, his hospice worker turns out to be dun 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 Sophie. So the two once lovers when they're 14 are now meet each other for the first time again. And it leaves off where they have the bad guys go to their boss. Turns out to be Richard Smiley, who's running a operation out of his Wonderland park. Basically wants the bastard who did this, that fucked with his business. So, but like I said, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it's not Brewbreaker level. I never expect anybody near close to his level, but I thought it was entertaining at least. I don't know what direction they're going to take this book in, but it did not feel like a normal DC title. The fact it's not connected, I love it. It's not connected to any superhero stuff, and there's no self-insert bullshit. It's just straight up, a guy who is considered toxic, and stuff. It just feels like it's clicking all the boxes that normally the DC would be like, we can't put this book in there because it's toxic masculinity. Yeah, I liked it. This was it's 17 plus because it is, covered by Gerard Perel, and the price was $3.99. The fact it says suggested for mature readers too. So that was pretty good.
Sorry, Jeff.
Well, Jeff, he's not connected anymore.
Well, no, it's if it's for mature readers.
Oh,
well, they. I have a note from my mommy that says that I can get some of those things, or at least I forward.
They'll have to read it to you.
Yeah, it's like it dropped for a second, and then he had a Megan.
So you liked it?
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't bad. It was like I said. I kind of got maybe because I recently because I read the Ricky Laws thing, Criminal, a couple weeks ago or a month ago was. So that's still fresh in my mind, but this was actually pretty cool. It reminded me more of I think it was that story. Yeah, it was the Ricky Laws one where Ricky goes into he basically robs the wrong guy because he's an idiot, goes to the wrong hotel. It's the same kind of stupid idiot kind of mentality though. The guy, the main guy Eddie here though, he dressed Ricky Eddie. There's some similarity. But it was still a decent story. I'm curious to see where it's going to go with it. It's only the first issue, so I can really judge it by that.
Well, I said I don't expect anybody to be as good as Brubaker.
No.
But if you're going to try to pattern yourself after somebody, you can certainly do worse.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good.
Yep. All right, number 2. Back on it. I dropped this book in the 20s. Now I'm back on it. Issue 48. It's World Finest, but World Finest on Earth 3. Owlman and Ultraman teaming up as the World's Finest over there. Literally, it starts off with Bruce Wayne's parents' murders in the alleyway, and he's like, so the difference is in this, I was like, okay, we're gonna go this story. An origin story, but this time Bruce's dad pulls out a gun. He's like, wait, I thought it was loaded. Turns out Bruce fucked him over and says like, because he basically pulled a Thomas Elliot. All right. He basically paid the guy off for the kill his parents so he can get the inheritance. I was like, what the hell? And of course, it goes to the main page right after that. Kind of little intro opening. I this has been fun. Like I said, jumping back in it, it just feels like like visiting an old friend, and all the memories come back, all the good times they had. So we get here. We have Superman, Ultraman's flying in the sky. He's basically terrorizing a bunch of people. And we get here the Riddler, who's being chased by Allman, and he's like, "That's it, Nigma, run! Not so brave now, are you?" that. So he brings in. They're doing their first team up here, and he pushes Nigma. He's Super Ultraman's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Oh, it's just some wannabe hero." They're all coming to the woodworks now for some reason, and he kicks him off, pushes them into a vat of like molten steel, and kills them. And then he discusses how I need your help. Their Star Lads discovered something, and I want that. We could use that. He's like, for God's sake, take this seriously. This isn't a pipe dream anymore. No more owning cities. No more like Gotham stuff. We can rule the world at this point. He's like, it's okay. But and he says, like, they have something of incalculable value and power was discovered, and we're gonna take it. So they end up going there, and of course, is Robin. Basically tells him, "Hey, I was tracking for you, boss, but they end up getting away." And he's like, "Wait, who was the damn lead?" He's like, "And it was Calder." And Alfred's like, "Sir, he's gone." And he's like, "Okay, thank you, Alfred." And it's revealed that Bruce has a bunch of kidnapped orphans that he just kicks out, and he's like, "You're the new Robin." Oh, it's fantastic. And so the new Robin's like, "Oh, it's like cool. It's like, I guess I think he calls him Talon." Yeah. And so, he's talking to Ultraman, and he says, "Hey, good kid, go leave us. Go practice your safe cracking. We got." So they go into the Doom Patrol because there's rumor that the Doom Patrol Calder is the one that took the device or whatever they're looking for, and Calder is pretty much they're their own syndicate. They're the Doom Syndicate, and basically they think they're gonna try and intimidate him. He's like, "We don't have your stuff," and so he basically Bruce says to Clark, he's like, "You're my lie detector." Is he telling the truth? And he's like, "Yes, for the first time, this piece of shit's actually telling the truth." And there's revealed, he's like, "Here, we'll bargain with you if you give us, help us out. Here's the rogues." So how do I know they're authentic? Because their hands are still attached to all their weaponry. Damn. And of course, they don't trust them. And and let's just say Superman, Ultraman kills Robot Man, and Plastic Girl or Elastic Girl ends up getting freeze sprayed or with the freeze gun, the Owl Man, and everyone's pretty much like taken out easily. Negative Man thinks he's gonna come in and save the day, and he is, because he's pure radiation, only for Batman to throw or Owlman to throw a canister and knock him out, and basically kills him because it's full of lead, which prevents radio is negative side from going back into Larry, and they're separated for too long, and they both die. Calder gets thrown into by Ultraman out his wheelchair into like a bookshelf, and it's just so crazy. And of course we have him. He's like, he wakes up. Where am I? He's like, "Oh, we spared your life, putting in the body of Robot Man." And he's like, "Oh God, I can't feel anything. Oh God." He's like, "Go be quiet. We let you live. Take it as a win." They're going to Magnus Robotics, and of course he just brought Platinum back on here, and now the new upgrade. Like they're like, I guess they are lovers in this universe too, and well, it shows the dynamic duo, or I guess the world's finest Earth 3 shows up, instantly kills her as she tries to protect her lover. Mercury says, "Hello, Owlman," and he's just gonna choke him by going into his throat and killing him. And they were also prepared for for basically Ultraman. He's like, well, we're going to use green kryptonite. You know, green kryptonite doesn't do anything. He's like, yeah, but how about blue? What does that do to you? So blue kryptonite, which is known to basically be this version of Clark's weakness. And while he's doing that, he's in pain. And while Allman is pretty much like, you know, dying, Clark taps a shield, alerts Lois Lane, who's at the Daily Planet, who's also Superwoman in this universe. And she comes up and saves him, pulls Mercury out of there, destroys him, and pretty much saves him and destroy. We go over to Will, who's pretty much he's in a safe room. He's calling someone, and he's basically, "Hey, I need your help." As you know, this is, and turns out in the vault that Will had was the original Batman and Superman chained up, and leaves us off with that. Next chapter is going to be called "Escape from Earth 3." This was actually really good. Like I said, it's one of the best books that I've read in a while. But I'll also say this: every issue of this title that I've read has been fantastic. This is Mark Waid on here with what's his name? Is it saying the beginning here? It does. Maybe it does. Yeah, here. It's Mark Waid and Marcus Toe is the artist, with Tamara Bonvillain, Tamara on the colors, and Steve Ward's in the lettering. Fantastic issue. I do recommend this highly if you are looking for an ongoing DC title and are tired of all the stupid events interrupting it. Check out World's Finest. World's Finest isn't interrupted by any of the events at all that's going in DC. DCKO doesn't affect this whatsoever, and it's just been a fantastic ride. I'm definitely if I had to, I would drop all the other books at DC. If Jeremy Adams decides, you know, whatever, I would keep Jeremy Adams and probably the Teen Titans Go and World's Finest. These are my top recommends right now, currently at DC. And this was
you remember the Adams books?
Adams books?
Yeah, even over Green Lantern and Aquaman.
Well, no, I said I'd keep the Jeremy Adams books.
Oh,
yeah.
I just started listening after that, I guess.
Oh, I guess so.
I was surprised that 87-year-old Eric Young is still in wrestling. I got yeah.
Well, he's young. That's the guy who was at TNA?
Only.
That's the guy who was fighting in TNA?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw that. I thought that was AI when I saw that. But this was
no, it's not AI, it's EY.
This is $3.99. Fantastic series. Mark Waid proves that he is probably the best writer other than Jeremy Adams and Josh Williams over at DC. All right, final book, the one that's on the cover. Start off, I did get a variant, so I figured why not. This captures everything that Marvel will probably never do again with Peter Parker, so I figured I'll hold on to it. Cool. This is and of course they have the main cover here. So this is an oversized issue. I think it's like 48 pages or 40 something pages. Yeah. So nice, gonna wrap up the story. It's issue 24. Hickman and Chichetto gives you a recap in the beginning, everything that's gone in the story. And it says here, though, it's time for the final strike against Kingpin, but Green Goblin and Mysterio's are meeting with the Captain Britain, you know, and while Spider-Man's fighting for his life to keep the Kingpin and Mr. Negative away from his son and the Black Cat. So, and it just opens up with this right away. So it shows you the kids are downstairs. They're going to plug this device. They'll basically, you know, they're able to just shut down the Kingpin's empire and expose him for what he is. And while it's a two-part or three-pronged attack, because Ben and in this universe is working with J. Jameson. They formed their own company called The Paper, and they are basically been in three separate broadcasts able to do this, and are exposing who the Kingpin is and how everybody's lied, said how the world has been changed by the Maker and stuff. While Mr. Negative and you have Kingpin are going against Spider-Man. Mr. Negative is basically, his power is to control you, and he's basically telling Spider-Man, don't fight him, let him, And so Peter says, exactly, it's, because they already know who he is. His identity was already revealed. So he's like, you know what? I won't fight him. I'm just going to throw you in front of him by having basically Kingpin knock him out. All right. And then, of course, people are wondering, like, when they see here, Kingpin has, like, these stuff here, energy stuff here. So Kingpin actually has nanotech in him that all of the Bullseyes use, but his is the more efficient, more stronger, allows him to be more deadlier. So that's already combined with the fact that he's already deadly, as it is. Spider-Man's going to interject, try and stab him with a device that will basically render his abilities neutral or I'll give it to him. Meanwhile, the nanotech inside the actual the vault down there where the computer room is attacking Richard Parker and a Black Cat. They're trying to get through. And then it starts adapting to his suit, which is kind of like a Venom symbiote, and we get an anti-Venom through that. Which was kind of interesting. So those two are kind of like battling one another while trying to allow Felicia to go and put the device into the, and shut everything down. While Peter is pretty much, at this point, he's going to, kick ass, and the other thing is that I love how Geeky says, like, all these times, I've built my way up, from the bottom, and I fought my battles, stuff. He's like, you're the first person that actually is able to withstand me and keep fighting back. And was it enthralling, or I can't remember what the word is, but it's intoxicating for him. Basically, he loves it. You see the device. He's going to try and stab him. This is the device he was basically given to by Otto, and that'll help him win his war against the Kingpin and disable his abilities. Peter, you get this nice splash page right here, where Peter is going to use the device, but of course, doesn't work out well. He gets punched, and everything's going on in this. It's just a full-on action issue. Something a lot of people are complaining about, that there's been not much action. There is some talking here too, and they say, and Kingpin's more talking with him. He says, like, hey, when I kill you and your son down there, I'll do you a favor and I'll bury you both on opposite ends of the earth, so you'll be separate like you are now forever. And of course, then the Ben and them are exposing more lies, and Peter is able to basically fight against him again, dodge his attacks, and then he's able to inject them, causing his abilities to short circuit. Meanwhile, down in the basement, they have Felicia and Richard they're about to be taken apart, but Richard does the one thing in his course. While his dad and Kingpin are fighting, they have hit what's going on in the basement on a hollow screen or review screen, so they can see. He's like, watch. He's like, watch your son die as I kill you. This will be sweet. And of course, Richard, even though he is told not to do this, put himself in harm's way, he ends up putting himself further in, and he's able to put the device, into the actual thing and save the day. And so when Peter gets there, he says, well, Black Cat and Richard kissing. And they kind of, after this, the world starts crumbling for Kingpin. Captain Britain makes a deal with the Mysterios. The Mysterios, if you're not knowing what's going on with them, that's Gwen Stacy and the Council of Mysterios. Basically, when they're killed by a suicide bomber, they merge all their conscious into one, or at least the pieces of them. It's revealed that Harry's wife is just a piece of her conscience. The rest of them are, So Harry has lost everything at this point. And Kingpin and Negative Man are on top of the building of the Daily Bugle, and Kingpin says, "Don't worry, I'll just start from the beginning." There, this is kind of I can did it once, I'll do it again, and of course those two have a vendetta. He says, "I want you to jump off the building," and Kingpin says, "No, I'm not going to do it," but Kingpin ends up basically, taking Negative Man with them, pulling him down, and they both fall to their deaths, killing off Negative Man and Kingpin at the very same time. Yeah. What's up, Glitch? What's up, the Mega Spider Jack? What's going on? All right. Of course, and then we also have here, we have Gwen Stacy. Well, it's not really Gwen Stacy, but it's the Mysterio conscious basically saying, like, hey, well, we will never be your wife again. It's like, she's like, there is no us, and it's the only way we save ourselves. Explosion, and we are all here, all a piece of each other, and it's just like they're all merged. Like, all the Mysterios are all merged together. It's nightmare fuel. And yeah, Harry's dad, which is an AI Norman, who's basically in his helmet, has been telling him, he's like, you're a fool. It's like you're pathetic and all that stuff. And when they get back, Harry and Peter have a conversation. And Harry says, "I'm gonna wipe my dad's AI." He's like, "You really want to do that?" It's like your last connection to your dad. And he's like, "Yeah, but it's not healthy for me." And so Peter, he's saying, he wants to know. So he's like, I need to know, how do you keep going? And he's like, what do you say that? He says, Peter says, a good friend of mine once told me that with great power comes great responsibility. And like Harry's like, what? And he says, like, and I get it, I do, but I'm just not sure it's an ethos that works in the world we're living in. And Harry's like, okay, that's so. And he says, yeah, I think that each of us, everyone has a great responsibility of fighting for what we believe in, great power or not. He's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. That's just what I believe. And they kind of like, he says, like, how the heck do you? I said, how do you never seem to be worried about it? It's like, how do you do it, Pete? And you get a flashback years ago when they're both in college. Him, Mary Jane, and Peter were in college dating. It's revealed that she's pregnant, and how they pretty much decided they love each other. They're gonna make it work, And it's really cool to see how in this world universe how Peter and MJ get together, because Peter was never Spider-Man in this universe until is much later in age, and yeah, it just tugs on the heartstrings. This is what they stole from us in the main universe. Ongoing. This is why that fat piece of shit CB Sobolski and everyone else who above him needs to be removed and put someone in there who actually cares about the characters and the actual fans, the ones that buy the books or were buying the books, but So at the end,
toxic fans, remember?
Oh, the toxic fans are the ones that don't even read the books. Those are the toxic fans. The ones that never were in the hobby to begin with. So epilogue at the end of this, the Parkers are going back in their apartment, and they're kind of like, "Is it safe to be in here?" It's like, "Yeah." It's like, "Shouldn't we move?" He's like, "No, we're fine." And they basically talk about how they have so many memories, including you see like the kid's heights. He's looking at it, and on the frame, and he's like, "We'll make it work, and don't worry about that. We've been through before worse, And just like I said, it's a nice little happy ending here with the Parkers, all together as a family, and at the end, Mary Jane says like, if Peter says like, it's like, she says, she's like, so no, honesty is out. What do you actually tell Harry? And she says, well, as I told him that what he wanted to hear, or maybe what he needed to, just do the right thing no matter what, believe in something larger than yourself. But she says, but that's not your reason. So he's like, I spent years thinking that I was missing something in my life, MJ, And yeah, I was missing something. Yes, and the gift, these powers actually were stolen from me, but I did finally get them. I learned something more important. And you know exactly what that is, MJ? She's like, yeah, but I want to hear you say it, Tiger. Something was missing, but it didn't matter. But it wasn't what mattered because I already had everything I truly wanted. I just didn't know at the time. But now I do. And the ends of the group shot of the family stuff. Richard in his suit, the girl and the mom. You know. Of course, they're saying, oh, you want to see more Spider-Man? Read it by a lesser writer, Denise Camp. I'll never say Denez, whatever. It's Denise.
So Gwen's gone, basically.
Pretty much in this universe, but it's still a conscious parading as him for her.
Why do I have a feeling that when they start over with that lesser writer, that Harry's going to be full on bad because they're not smart enough to.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous, though. But you know, and let's turn this back on so you guys can see. Yeah, Spider-Man is not allowed to be happy. That's why anyone who gives somebody something good must be protected. I agree, man. Like I said, there's not many good books out there with Spider-Man being an honest, happy person and not being the pathetic punching bag he's been since Brand New Day.
Yeah, Marvel just
they don't like him.
They're anti not suck,
right? But I said these were $7 for both these covers, so it wasn't that bad. Yeah.
By the way, I actually have a couple things tonight.
You actually have a book you want to talk about? Okay.
I did thoughts.
Ooh, all right. Though, I guess I'll put you over there.
This will take a second, but
you're now full screen there. If that's so.
All right. First thing, I was scrolling Twitter and Eric Dane died.
It sounds familiar.
He was the guy in charge on Countdown.
Oh, yeah, he had cancer.
No, he had ALS
or something like that. Yeah. Wow.
In 1 year, he went from healthy enough to physically act to dead.
Wow, that's sad.
The past years, while they deteriorate, but man, his form must have been aggressive as hell.
In the past 2 months, he was more sick, and he was making sick. He announced or something. He was taking a break or something like that. He was.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's.
Yeah, so that sucks, man. Yeah. But
yeah, I don't know. So yeah, he was apparently his claim to fame was Grey's Anatomy, but I never watched that. So
Grey's, he was somewhere else too, though. After Grey's, I thought he was in another show, but
might have been. But so yeah, what I'm currently reading from 1936, Perry Mason, The Case of the Stuttering Bishop.
Nice.
This book, the version I'm holding was from 1948. It was already the 22nd printing of this book.
Wow.
I know, it's insane. This came out a while back, but I just got mine last week. The Doom Patrol DC Finest.
Nice. I ordered the Golden Age Green Arrow. Yeah. My shop.
This was it was a little better than a lot of the DC superhero stuff. It was written they aimed a little higher age-wise. And it was guys trying to sound hip, but unlike other DC books, this kind of hit. So I mean, that's a definite recommend. And I didn't get any comics, but I did pick up Retro Fan.
Remember to move it over for the people on the left or vertical. There you go. That's how you do. Hold it up by is that Doc? You can't see his face.
an interview with the Brady kids.
Yeah.
These are fun. Especially, like I said, if you're my age, this book is just right in our wheelhouse.
Yeah. Hero on Fire. I used to talk about Robert Duvall. Tom Noonan died. Was it just yesterday? Yeah, he was from Manhunter. He was the bad guy, Red Dragon.
And I
He
picked
was
up,
also the guy in RoboCop 2.
Kane, yeah.
picked
Nice.
up that issue. This apparently is this is the Rivals issue, and two of the Rivals, Archie and Reggie, and Donald Duck and Gladstone Gander.
Nice.
So but I said, I mean, I don't see anything, comic wise that I care enough unless until the next thing Brubaker does. But those, I guess, right place, right time, and I just had to grab those. And I'm still waiting for the Cryptology. They had to order me one.
My store had some back issue of the Cryptology. I think they had issue 4 or 6. I'm not sure where they're on now. I almost picked it up.
The latest one is number 7.
The one I saw was another vampire one. So it must have been I think number 6 or 4, or I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember. I think I bought the first 4. I think I didn't get 5 or 6 because I haven't been buying anything for almost half a year now. So it's But importantly though, I did make an eBay purchase. I did.
Curly, that's what quickly say. If you had no clue that Eric Breen was old and you couldn't tell by his voice, you might want to get some help. And also the cap locks, you're old too.
What are you talking about? I am youthful.
You have hair and it's still in color.
Who's girly pop of whatever that?
One of the recent subs.
Well, don't unsub because I'm old. I'm not on camera much.
It's actually one of those AI filters. Makes him look older than he is.
Breen's actually a 20-year-old Korean girl. So,
well, we were trying to keep that a secret, okay?
That explains a lot of those late night texts I get from you, Jeff. But yeah, I made an eBay purchase.
Nice.
I ordered the 2 Girl from Uncle novels.
Oh, cool.
I didn't know they existed until the other day when I thought, those Man from Uncles are pretty cool. I wonder if they ever did any for the Girl from Uncle, and there were only 2 of them.
Right?
They were written by Michael Avalone, who wrote a couple of the Man from Uncles, and I've read enough of them that his are better than the others. So he's for that kind of genre, he was a cut above the others. So those ought to be cool.
I love the fact that you dropped your camera, put your camera on, and the first thing we see, if we're being on a vertical, all we see is your shoulder, and we see the Flintstones and Archie. And North by Northwest. If you didn't know that what Breen's age was, it's right there.
What the fuck?
Well, you have a vintage Flintstones thing.
I found that at an
Archie
mall.
Were you at the antique mall too?
Yeah, someone sold me. This is where I really wish I had pixel-sized fingers. That's all I have.
All right. Eric's even more older than you.
No, unfortunately not.
all right. I have 8, and then some used bookstore pickup, and then some back issues.
All I see is the Matrix.
I was saying, there you are.
Huh?
For a second, you didn't pop up on the screen, even
Bring the Matrix back. Oh, Vagner, I forgot to tell you. Yeah. I was reading that Perry Mason book.
Yeah.
And the jackal showed up in the book and killed a couple people.
Oh, nice. Was that woman still chasing him?
No, no. He no, I can't say what happened there. In case you ever watch it. And I said the kill count didn't decrease as the season went on.
Nice. I know Geekeasy. It's kind of hard to get used to them. You're kind of shocked a little bit if you're on a delay. So
I'm not on yet, but anyway.
No, I know, but people are watching on an 8-second delay. So Yeah, and another thing too is that if you're watching vertical, sometimes it will not catch up to the live, so it will be a little more delay until you hit the live button. So I think Girly Pops just saw you, and as we said, "Oh my lord."
What?
How you figure?
Jeff doesn't look 15 years.
Okay, here's the problem. This is why Zach not showing up. This poor girl tunes in thinking everybody's as handsome as Zach, and she gets me and Jeff.
Yeah.
Why is she so
She's can't hit the unsub button fast enough. I can tell you that much right now.
He's looking for a filter that might make us more presentable.
Well, she saw me at first, probably, and she didn't unsub, so that's a plus.
And tomorrow will only be 14 or maybe 16 years. So.
It's just, I'm just gonna change the channel to it's called Me and My Two Dads.
Because it's things change.
Because that will help on Thursday nights. Me and My Two Dads and comics.
Ages change tomorrow, by the way. So I picked up this because I thought it was a number one and started reading it, and it turns out it wasn't.
No, that's an issue like 4 or 6.
Yes, because numbers are hard.
That's the only thing for you. It's hard.
And yeah, it's true. And I wasn't paying attention, so I read the first few pages and said, you know what? Hell, whatever.
So Jay put me onto that book. He said it's supposed to be G.I. Joe, but a little bit more adult, a little more crass.
Yes, I might go back to it. Who knows? But
the first time I ever seen that in any of my comic book shops, so I haven't seen any of the earlier issues. So I might go back.
Seen the other earlier issues either. So who knows? And then next is number 4 of Deluge by Cullen Bunn, and I hate this is the penultimate issue, so it's gonna be 5. I hate when they go either 4 or 6. They just end on an odd number.
Is it a thicker book as far as how many pages are in there? Is it 40 pages or is it normal when you're reading it?
Normal.
Yeah, Jeff, don't use those big words. You know they give you a headache.
That's a small word for me.
I had one last night in the manga reading, and I said I'm just done.
What, a headache or a big word?
Both.
One
led to the other.
This seems to be about the right. They don't have a page count on here, but it seems to be kind of a normal size for a book.
give you a thick cover, and then the rest of the book is like 5 pages.
But
so it's through what was the publisher?
Ignition.
Never heard of them.
They're fairly new, or at least that I'm aware of.
Is that a key issue?
Huh?
Is that a key issue?
By the way, Vangman, your girl won her match.
Oh, I didn't watch it yet. So.
Do you tape TNA?
No. I go watch it on online. There's a website. And they have it out there.
And she had 2 girls come to the ring with her, and one of them's an absolute smoke show.
Are you talking about Tessa Blanchard?
Yeah,
dude, she is fantastic. I love the fact everybody still hates on her, but still, she's like every time she's in there, she outshines all the other girls.
She's doing her job right.
Yeah. Sorry, there.
No, I'm sorry, Jeff.
He's mentioned Tessa Blanchard.
We forgot you were here.
Who has a good-looking body, but she has her dad's nose. That's the one thing.
You should give it back.
Oh, so that is legit Tully Blanchard's kid?
Yeah, it is a daughter. She came up and training stuff, wrestling, and she was the first knockouts champion, or I guess the men's champion, the first woman in TNA to defeat the men's champion and win the title. Before all that crap happened.
I met him.
Yeah.
Drinking in a bar one night.
Nice. Was Arn there? Were they starting fights?
No, Arn wasn't there, but yeah, Tully was kind of an ass. But
yeah,
but not so much so that I mean, I was. Yeah, I insulted him and didn't get my face beat in. So, yeah, obviously,
you're lucky.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was mouthing off. Well, we were mouthing off to each other, but not in an antagonistic way. Sorry, Jeff. Continue.
Sorry, Jeff. Continue.
I think it's something else to interrupt.
Okay, then we have.
Oh yeah, I'm kidding.
Superman Unlimited number 10, which is the end of this story arc. We have the trickster or the prankster and his son, who are
Pranky,
the puzzler.
Oh, the puzzler.
Who had been hired by, what is her name? Trixie something?
This is the Absolute Flash.
No,
Jack.
it's not Absolute Flash.
What is it?
It's
Superman. Superman Unlimited. Okay, the Dan Slott book.
You, Jeff.
Huh?
Got a trivia question for you.
Sure.
Who played the puzzler in the Batman series?
I have no idea.
Maurice Evans, also known as Samantha's father on Bewitched.
Now, are we talking the Batman series is in 66?
Yeah.
I've only seen, I have never enjoyed that series, so I don't watch it much.
Just like me, we're a man of culture.
Yeah, the bottom of a petri dish.
Hey, you guys gotta start somewhere to lift everybody
That's
else
a
up.
culture. That is a culture. That's why they call it a culture. Maybe not a good culture, but it's a culture. But
yeah, I'm surprised you got a Dan Slott book.
this is not that bad. I mean,
Is it that good either?
he's pretty much keeping his politics out of it. Strangely enough.
Okay, well, that Superman annual here, his first he did Unlimited thing, had him talk about how he should battle on global warming. That's why I never picked up the rest of the books.
Oh, it's a Dan Slott way more often than not keeps his politics out of the books, but he can't keep his writing like Dan Slott out of them.
Yeah, I missed the Dan Slott before the TDS or before 2015. I should say that before any of that stuff. I don't even say TDS. I'm just gonna say before 2015, before everyone started going online and virtue signaling and all that stuff, bragging about stuff. You go back to Dan Slott when he was writing the DC universe animated stuff over at DC, and it was totally different Dan Slott what you're getting today. So it's you live long enough, you become the villain.
And have a funny looking face.
But I hear though, if you give Dan Slott a couple pizzas, he'll be satisfied. He won't be hangry when he's writing. But you may continue though. But one more thing about Tessa Blanchard though. Tessa, go ahead, Brent.
So they were hired to take out Mayor White, and Superman stopped him. So they are working on trying to. Clark revealed everything, so they're trying to go after him. And so there's this whole, thing of her being pissed off at the trickster. Is it the trickster? Not being able to control his son and saying you didn't finish the job. We want twice our money back. And them trying to deal with Clark and go after Perry White, who's in hiding.
Mm-hmm.
And he uses kryptonite trick snakes against Clark, even though Clark is like just to get rid of him because he's trying to draw Superman in, and they eventually beat them, but it turns out that it was an attempt to get the money back and get rid of Trixie or whatever her name is. So it wasn't that bad. New story arc for the next issue. Now for the that one, and everything else after this is a really good. First two weren't great, but from this on, we're really good. Now we have Minor Arcana number 14, Jeff Lemire. Is it Lemire or Lemire?
Well, if it's Muir Island, I don't know what you're on.
I've always said Lemire, but I think
Lemire. I think it is Lemire.
Okay.
You can start calling him Lee Meyer. Hey, Lee Meyer, where you at?
Well, I can start mispronouncing stuff like Candace Owen does, McGibre or something like
Bill Sienkiewicz or Bill Sienkiewicz? Or Sienkiewicz?
Sienkiewicz, I think it is. But, so this is really kind of a hard thing to describe. If you ask what's going on in here is kind of hard to describe if you haven't been following. But there's just more of the girl's relationship with her mother, and her cop friend had been shot the issue before because she sent them her looking for her cop friend, she reported something suspicious to her cop friend, and he went to look at it, and he got shot. And so you're dealing with the cops trying to look at that, her trying to look into that, and some behind the scenes people who are trying to take over the town, and her still dealing with her tarot stuff. So if you haven't watched it, I mean, if you haven't been going on with it, this won't make any sense. Now there's four left, three of which you've already covered.
You can just go over them. Go ahead.
World's Finest. I loved it. It was great. Just some really kind of, I don't want to say laugh out loud moments, but I did really laugh at some of the stuff.
The Doom Patrol made me laugh. I like that. When he's using the heat vision on Robot Man, he's like, brain smells like chicken.
The art's not all that bad either. So
yeah, that's the thing. One of the things I don't like is when you have Dan Moore was on the interior artist on that book. So I was worried they were gonna get like, hey, we're getting Dan Moore covers, and then the interior is gonna be like Raleigh Rossmo. But
number 3, End of Life. I didn't know anything about this. I called ahead and have them pick me up one of them. I thought they were sort of making fun of stuff like this more than trying to.
Yeah, it wasn't trying to be Brubaker, but it was.
Yeah,
I was tell. As being a Brubaker fan, everyone seems like Brubaker when they do books like these now. I
didn't even think about Brubaker until you mentioned something about that. I thought they were sort of maybe doing a bit of a satire of it, maybe.
Parody. A little bit.
Parody, but it could be both. But I enjoyed every moment of it. Just the whole.
The main kid,
moron.
Yeah, he's like a insanely awesome, like a Gun Wick or John Wick thing, but he's also a complete moron when it comes to just being a human being. You know,
because there were certain elements of the John Wick thing, the houses and all that stuff. So there was a lot to it. So I thought they were just kind of being serious, but also parodying a little bit at the same time.
I also came off as like a Vanilla Ice the whole entire time I was reading it. Like a haircut.
Now, speaking of parody and just flat out fun, Florida Hippopotamus Cocaine Massacre.
I passed on it because I didn't like the interior art.
See, all right. That would normally be a thing for me. I just did my little Joe Pesci Lethal Weapon impersonation. Okay. I think they do that intentionally because it's
a satire book.
Yeah, it's a satire, and they're satiring the whole thing. And it kind of goes with the book. because what they're doing is they're making fun of the 80s. They're making fun of like the whole Sharknado thing, and just a whole bunch of different genres. They're throwing it in there and just being, fuck, let's have some fun with it and just make fun of everything.
So is it a bounty hunter book? What is it?
It is. It starts out with this lady right here, who is the first lady of the president. She's the first lady.
Okay.
And she's doing, you can see she's got a bottle of champagne or whatever it is there. And it's basically her doing her say no to illegal drugs thing.
Oh, it's you sure it's not supposed to be
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, Nancy Reagan be as president or first lady.
But it sort of looks a little bit more like Barbara Bush. The mother, the W, not HWs, but and so they've got that, and she's saying, look, we got say no to drugs, and she has this little VHS, because obviously it's in the 80s, and she's going to show a little video to show what drugs do to you, and she can't even work it. Right. She's loaded. And so it opens up to Disco Hippo Wonderland. It was obviously a kind of like a Disneyland or a SeaWorld type place. And the main attractions are hippos. And you got the leader showing up to it, and all the you have all the people in the audience who are saying stuff like just saying these really stupid things. Like, I'm making that joke. Such wholesome laughter. I'm stealing that joke because she made some horrible joke. And so here is the owner of the park. He's on a rascal, but he's getting carried on it because even operating the rascal is too hard for him. And they use this place to sell drugs. And then they have the people down here are some feds who are monitoring it, setting up a case to bust them for selling the drugs. And then all of a sudden they've got a cop who's they have a cop hostage in there who had been investigating him. They knew who he was, so they found him out. And then his brother shows up in this car and just comes flying. He just goes sailing through the air and lands in the park to take over his brother, to cut after his brother. So it's making fun of the whole action spy thing. And if you look at the hairstyles on here, they're and they've got they have this new drug. It's called Coke 45. And they have the Disco is the name of the bad guys. He has his underlings have excellent health care, including dental. And so they're just being completely over the top of it. It was so fun with just reading everything and how stupid things here. Like here he's doing something. He's like dramatic leap, and and then this is how they actually get the hippos jacked up on cocaine. And in the next issue, you'll have to deal with the cocaine hippos. So it's going to be.
Is it Cocaine Hippos? That is going to be a part of the Cocaine Bear trilogy.
Who knows? But it's something along that line, and then they're just going to be having some fun with it.
Yeah, you're having fun with that book, even though I don't really like the art. That's kind of what we were with that book called Torrent back in the day, about the woman getting revenge on the guy who supposedly murdered her family, the supervillain. So she, it was, I think it was Mark Guggenheim. I forgot who the artist was.
But I think this is just more of a parody, so they're doing parody art and stuff.
Yeah, but even then, parodies, I need good art.
Yeah, true. And then number 1.
Yeah. Did it fall flat for you, or do you think it wrapped up pretty nicely?
Yeah, I did. I really liked it, except for the super wrap up. It seems like they're getting all of a sudden they're going to be getting a whole bunch of millions of dollars.
It seems like they wrote that story a while ago, and they were going to do more with the book, more than 24 issues, and then it is kind of like, we're not going to cancel the book, and so he's like, so he just kind of wrapped up the story a little bit. And I don't want to. If I want to read more Spider-Man, I'm not going to read it in the Ultimate Endgame, written by a guy who doesn't know what between a man and woman is.
Yeah, and also,
sorry.
Did you get the impression that they all of a sudden they're taking millions of dollars from the bad guys? Is that the impression you got?
I don't know about that, but I do know that that device exposed who the Kingpin is. So he basically every public knows who he is. He's ruined, and him and Negative Man were pretty much the reason why they had an old feud. And so basically now they basically wanted to end their feud, and of course, Kingpin being the thing, he's like he overcame him in the past. He was the one man who could overcome his influences, pulled him out, and they both kill each other. But it just means that with the Maker being exposed, more of that stuff. But they said that the battle's never going to end because you took off one horse. It's like Hydra. You took off one thing. There's still another person in his place, and Harry made a deal with Captain Britain to become the new, basically, work with them. And they said that the New York City or town would basically be under Spider-Man and Harry's control, basically for a while. That they will leave him alone. The problem is, it's like, I don't know. It's like, the main thing I liked about the whole entire story is the fact that Mary Jane and Peter have kids and they're actually happy family.
Yeah, they were having a good, really good relationship.
And throwing Uncle Ben in there and having him be alive and having Aunt May just recently died, it opens up the story, the whole thing. I want to see more of Jonah and Uncle Ben running the paper because they steal the scene whenever time they're in there. The jokes, Jonah's still an asshole, but he's really, it shows him he's really a nice guy. So, but I don't know if we'll ever get another anything similar to that quality of Spider-Man writing in a while. I'm not reading the Joe Kelly one though, but
neither am I.
Joe Kelly could be a good writer, or Casey, or whatever his name is, the guy's writing it now. But Marvel is never going to allow these characters to be together again and stuff in the way that Hickman was writing them. I was shocked to even let him do that, but the book floundered in the middle. And especially when Absolute Batman came out, people forgot about this book.
So now to use bookstore books that I picked up, I was there and I saw this.
Nice, great pack.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing.
Cool.
And I was like, okay, I definitely want to get this. And sitting right very close to it was Prelude. So I got that because it leads right up to it. So I think this is like, how much was this total? I paid $28.90 for the two of these total.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great story.
Yeah. And so far I've just gotten, I'm done with the second issue in the Prelude. And so that'll just lead up to that, and then boom.
You gonna grab World War Hulk after you finish those?
If I can find it.
Because that's to me that was very well done. So it's like Greg Pak, to me, was the Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. That was his television marquee moon. Although I that may not be a good analogy because television had another pretty good album.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Greg Pak ever had a pretty good anything else, but that was, whether it was him or whoever helped him with that, that was, yeah, you forget how good Marvel was less than 20 years ago. Well,
Yeah.
20 years ago now, but and considering how awful they are now.
Yeah, no, just yeah. Okay, now I have some back issues. There's about like 30 of them. We'll go through them kind of quick.
You say 30 of them? Wow.
Huh?
You said 30?
Yep.
Dang.
Batman Detective. These are all Detective. 505.
Glare on it. The stupid plastic.
It's him fighting
Batman?
where he's fighting a werewolf.
Oh, werewolf. Oh.
Yes.
Where?
Fairbanks.
Oh.
Which is up north. I've never been
there. Thank you, Breen.
You're welcome. You didn't think you were playing for an audience of 2, did you?
Well, I'm amazed that we have 9 people watching.
No, I meant between me and Jeff.
Oh.
You knew I was your only shot there.
So we have 814. $816, which I had $815 already, so this is I gotta finish the story on that one. And this is written by Dini, 823. Really good book. Great cover too.
Mystery sells the book because the glare hides it.
Yeah, I don't know why you like that cover, Jeff.
Then this cover too. So this
It's lonely up in Alaska, okay?
824.
He doesn't have a cat like you, okay?
Somehow it's not quite as cold tonight. A lot of friction.
825. These are some excellent covers.
Yeah.
And this is the Return of Dr. Phosphorus, which was okay. But then 827. This was 29. I wish I didn't have this. Let's see if I can keep it to the. This is really good. This is 31. This is a Harley Quinn book. I think this is the one where she has up for parole. I think. Let me see. Going. I've seen some of these because they were in the Beanie omnibus, but oh yeah, no, she's up for parole and gets turned down, but then someone comes and breaks her out, and it is the female ventriloquist, which was an Aldini thing, but it was a very well written book, and the art in here is really good. I love the art in these Dini books with where he's writing them. But put that back in there real quick, or I can wait. Okay, then 32. $34. So obviously they didn't have certain issues. This is 35. This is absolute terror. These two were really good because these were about 35 and 36. This is Crane escaping from prison and wreaking havoc all over the city without his access to his fear gas. And so he was able to do some pretty nasty stuff without his fear gas. And it was very well done. And then we have 37, another Harley Quinn book where she is out in, she's trying to, excuse me, she's trying to keep him straight and narrow, and she's in a women's shelter run by some Amazon woman, and Nigma, who is now a private investigator, comes to her for help on something. It was really well written and fun. Okay, these are all the ones that I've read so far. But then we have.
I feel like if you keep collecting these Batman issues, you're going to have no room for anything else. If that's your goal.
I'm going to have to buy a new short,
new storage shed.
Okay, 38. 38. 39.
Imagine people are collecting these all the way from the 80s. This kept going.
40.
You'd have a Batman room, pretty much.
Pretty much. 41. I know these are all going to be fun because most of these are written by Dini.
And if these are all detectives too, even and you're not talking about detective and Batman. If you have a Batman and a detective room.
42. Yeah, I think I've caught up on all of what they have for the Batman, so I went to getting the detectives. So I'm trying to build up what I can. 43. And I've got in about 2 months, in April, we're having our convention. I'm going to see if these people will have any back issues there. 44 with Zatanna in her classic outfit. 45. Hope this
Hush.
Yes, Heart of Hush begins. This is 46.
They just introduced Hush into that Elseworlds Immortal Batman.
Okay, so the 48, and this is where I don't like that cover, but this is some of that what do you call it, the watercolor painting that Dustin Nguyen does that I don't really like that much. 49.
They're saying that Star Trek is right now worse than Star Wars. Oof.
Oh, the Star Trek series is horrible.
I thought they're on the same level.
No, this Starfleet Academy is. They actually had an episode where they went out. They had a hologram who they turned it up so she could be like she was drunk, and she almost drowned in the water. She's a fucking hologram. And then there was a guy who ate something, and he throws up glitter. That's how they throw his species is glitter.
Great at parties, man.
52. And it's just like, dude, seriously?
I'm surprised he wasn't throwing up rainbows. That's the new thing for cartoons.
No, give him time.
Because in Japan they don't it's weird to show like people throwing up. So when they usually have the anime girl, she throws up, it comes out like rainbows, and that has nothing to do with the rainbow crowd. And it's just they just do that because that's how they censor it.
Yeah, so 58, and this is written by Rucka. So.
Oh, it is rainbow colored. The glitter barf.
60.
These are prior to New 52, right?
66, yes.
Okay.
66 and 68. Because it's getting up to the New 52.
Like I said, I always hear people say that they love the Neil Adams run, and then they love it going through the 80s, and then like going to the 2011. They said like that's pretty much the era. Most people are getting a lot of the Batman books if they haven't read them. Is that post crisis going in just before going into the New 52?
See, this you were saying something a little earlier about people complaining about the story lengths on some of these stuff.
Yeah.
One thing I've noticed that they're doing recently, and we've talked about this before, is one they're writing for the trades, and some of these storylines go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 issues, and one thing I've noticed, especially with these Batman, the older Batman issues and Detective, they 2-3 issues max for a story, and then they'll switch.
Yeah.
And then they'll have a couple of singles, and then they'll have something where it wraps up in 2, and then they'll have a couple singles, and then maybe a 3-issue one. And it's not that they're trying to. It's not that people are short attention. They just get the story tight. And
is it Defense Society? Man, I don't think he's the best writer, but I don't think he's the worst writer. Whatever I've read of his stuff. I do think that he does self-insert in some books, like Daredevil. He started putting in his religion in there. I'm like, when you're writing a story about a guy who's Catholic, and you're putting in people doing the prayers in the middle of the road and stuff, and it just like I don't inject Islam into a book where
you should know something about Catholicism if you're going to be writing.
Yeah, right, exactly. Know your character, know your subject material, and it was just like, what is this stuff? But. Yeah, but there's worse. I heard that Sienna Grace is a lot worse than him, and that was it. Yeah,
Sienna Grace is terrible.
And then Vita, or Alea, and then what was the other one? There's another one that's like you guys don't like either. It's not Murray Tamaki. I'm trying to think what her name is. It's not Stephanie. It's not any of the Stephanies. There was another.
Teeny Howard.
No, that. I don't like her either, yeah, but there's
Leah Williams.
Not Leah Williams. I'm trying to think what her name is.
Alyssa
Wong.
Wait a minute, Alyssa
Wong. Yeah. I don't. Out of those three, I know you see any. All of them I rate. Who is the best out of all those? Would you say is a better writer? Sienna Grace, Vita, Stephanie Williams, Stephanie Phillips, Alyssa Wong, and Teeny Howard.
Oh, hey, totally off subject. There's some college pitcher.
Is he tied too?
Named Jack Bauer.
Oh yeah.
Guess what his number is?
24.
Yep.
They had to.
Somebody has sense of humor.
Well, did you see? There's a picture there. Someone posted something online. It showed a guy standing on first base, and his last name was W.U. And this is they found.
Yeah, he was on first. Yeah.
I was just like, and then there's also a guy. And I don't know if this one was photoshopped or not, but there's a guy, military, either Army or Marine captain. His name tag said obvious. I don't know if that was actually AI or not, but
you never know.
That's it.
All right, cool.
So, does your shop have an 880?
Yes, I have an 880, and then I think it's a facsimile.
Yeah, because I had that. I gave it to the store, but that's still clocking in at about $180.
Right. Nice.
I got it for $1. So I didn't feel like I really lost anything,
but I also did get Robin Hood. It's supposed to come next month, but because Zenoscope's making its way back to the stores finally. They're whoever was publishing or distributor wasn't doing a good job, so they might be I guess the Ultimate, or I don't know if the Ultimate Alliance, but it's only Alliance Games Alliance or what it was is now United, I think, or I guess it's the new company they formed. Because usually was a Canadian publisher, but now they're going to start distributing in the U.S. as well.
no, this is awful.
I know, right?
Now I'm watching the Celtics game. The player with the ball, they put him in a little circle and pop his name up there. That's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough when they, in football, when they highlight the line of scrimmage. It's like, what the hell are we doing here, people?
I don't know, but they actually shot his corpse into space. They give it space burial.
Just he got cremated.
Okay, they put in a casket and just threw it into space.
Him and
awesome.
Also Scotty, whatever his real name is.
James Doohan.
James Doohan.
I hated that guy.
The guy who played Scotty?
Yeah.
The character or the actor?
No, the actor. And I'm being tongue in cheek. We had a sci-fi convention at the hotel when I was working there, and they had a thing during the day, and he was the guest, and we had a wedding in the same banquet hall that night, and nobody would leave because he was there holding court, and he was holding us up. And it was like, of course we were doing that. Could you beam yourself the fuck out of here already? But yeah, I said no. I didn't meet him, but I said that was at that point. You don't care that he was in a show you love. It's like, get out. We got work to do.
I was just saying the U.S. You mentioned the U.S. started like for $1 million. Elon Musk, whatever, will launch your loved one into space after they die.
Well, he was actually one Canadian, and two, he landed on D-Day and survived. He got shot like 4 or 5 times. He's missing a finger on one hand, and he got shot. And I guess it was either his Zippo or a Bible that he had in his pocket that deflected a shot that would have killed him.
James Doohan?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So we used to have guys on Star Trek that landed on the beaches of Normandy. Yeah. And now we have Klingons in a dress.
I saw that. I was like, it's so brave, so powerful,
so
retarded. And you can't use that word. You know what? We're bringing it back. We used it in the 90s. We also used the hard F, but I won't use that because of YouTube.
No. You mean like a stick or a cigarette?
Yes. A Fig Newton. Yeah.
Yes, but there's I was just saw something on Facebook a little earlier, right before we came on here. The guy was talking something about James Gunn, the Gunn universe. And the guy put capital G, asterisk, NN. I'm like, you can't even write down the fucking guy's name without trying to censor it. I don't trust you, you little fucking pussy, and posted it. The guy got all pissed off. It's like, dude, it's his name. It's his name. It's not the real thing.
Yeah, today's generation, oh my gosh, you can't say these words up. I was like in elementary school, like 3rd or 4th grade, where we were using these words. And no one got offended because we call each other both the names. It was like people today are just so offended by words today, or the thought of somebody using a word offends them. It's like, grow up.
Yeah, you should hear the smear the word that rhymes with smear. It was the game that we played a lot on the playground.
You're talking about the word queer. It was known as for someone who was strange back in the 40s. It had no attention to the LGBTQ, whatever, nothing. That's just like, the word happy was meant you were actually happy, not meant that you're gay. That wasn't until like what 80s or 90s slang. You know, or maybe it was a little earlier than that, but it said a lot of these names are been co-opted by people who aren't exactly, they aren't happy, but they're
very very happy, but they aren't happy.
No, but yeah. I don't know. Back in the day, you could say whatever you wanted to, but hey, you also had to worry about someone trying to hit you.
That's what I was. That's my generation.
That was
Brain's generation. We're the original FAFO people, man.
Say what you want.
If I had a problem with Breen, I had to say it to his face, and I had to be there ready for his.
But
response.
You read the room, you know. If you didn't read the room, or some people didn't think that out there, you know, tough shit. Like, I'm gonna say what I want to say and do it and they got their asses beat, you know. But it said, but you didn't get canceled. Oh my gosh, you hear that guy said that? Oh, we're calling him his job, and he can't get
punched in the face or your ass beat because you called the wrong guy a fag. And sir, he may have been a fag, but he was a tough fag who was able to beat the shit out of you because
but YouTube does have the policy. Don't throw that word around.
Here's my generation. When I was working at this restaurant in high school.
Fire. Ooh.
We were all in the break room, and there's these two, this guy, this black dude sitting there, and this white guy comes in who'd just come back from vacation. He's very tan. And the guy goes, where were you? He goes, I was in Florida, man. He goes, the sun was out every day, and I came back, damn near N-word fine. And the black guy looks up and goes, yeah, man, I just came back white. That was it.
Yeah, I don't like the use the N-word. I don't like anybody really using that.
But 1978. It hadn't become, at this point, just make it illegal and put people in jail because that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
But back then, it didn't. It didn't have the word didn't have any power, positively or negatively, because it was, like I said, it just the two people knew each other and they didn't care.
Exactly. Well, yeah, I said you would call each other stupid names, and just like stuff, and you knew underlying you guys would just bust each other's balls, bro.
At some point, words became more dangerous than actions, and that should never have happened.
There were people back then that got offended by words, and you know what they did? They stopped talking to you and they left. They cut off contact with you. They didn't talk anymore. Those would be the people who were never really your friends to begin with, And here's the thing: some guys, are just very sensitive more than the other guys. That's okay.
Well, we're taught to be sensitive now. I mean, that's.
And I'm not talking about back then, in the 70s. There were some guys who were a little more sensitive about words.
But they were shunned because of that. Mm-hmm. And I said, I every once in a while joke, said we need to bring back bullying. And on the surface, that it's like one of those things now where you just like automatically like recoil. No, you can't. But then you guys go, look how soft everybody is now. I'd rather have somebody bully somebody to their face and get it over with than do these social media campaigns that lead to suicide. So nobody ever killed themselves by being bullied face to face.
I recently came across this video of this chapter. I forget what they're at, but they were doing a hazing, and a fire alarm was set off, and the cops showed up, want to know what's going on, why these guys blindfold stuff, and the cops were upset because nobody wanted to leave. That they wanted to get out of the house because of the fire thing, and they wouldn't listen to the cops now. And there's so many people who are like, "Oh my gosh, hazing is horrible. It's led to all these deaths." Well, there are some people who take hazing, to like more serious, I guess, or more. But not every chapter is hazing. It's like hazing today is not what it was back in the 80s.
Yes, that's a different animal.
Yeah.
I said, but
here's the thing, people. If you don't want to be the fraternity, if you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that though, and that's always been a thing. People make choices.
But I remember when I was in like junior high, I was everybody started picking on this guy, so I joined in because that's what you did in those things.
Yeah.
And the guy, said he wanted to fight me. And I go, sure, why not? We out behind school after school, and he kicked the shit out of me. We became friends.
Yeah,
because I said I was just doing that to go along. I actually had been friends with the guy before everybody started doing that. And like I said, I had it coming and I got it. And then we went back to being friends.
Yep.
That's how you settle things in those days.
Well, and the thing is, guys, we bust each other's balls because that's how we see who the alphas are in the room. We see if you're so it's kind of a pecking thing kind of thing. But and some guys can't handle it and other people can. And usually the guys, that fight back, realize this is stupid. What's that?
You know what sucked?
What's that?
Punched in the face 4 times.
Yeah.
That was not fun.
No, especially when you realize you have a broken nose or a broken jaw.
I did a broken nose, but I also realized that I could have kept fighting and I could have gotten punches 5, 6, 7, and 8.
No.
So I ended the fights, which made me look like an even bigger pussy. But I said I had it coming.
But that's also not the point. It's working the aggravation out. It's it's like, okay, so you're tougher. We're gonna be cool.
So many friendships were formed post fights.
Yes,
because you got it over with. I realized he was going to stand up for himself. I said, he realized that if he wanted to, he'd beat me again, I guess. But I said they didn't linger.
I was going to say, after
social media bullying does.
After this whole thing of fight with you guys, did the other guys leave that kid alone?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you pretty much helped that kid out by getting your face punched 4 times.
I took the slings and arrows. And I'm sure that he could have beaten the shit out of just about everybody else who was picking on him too. Not that I was a tough guy; I was far from it. But the other guy, we picked on the wrong guy.
But yeah, you said people had kids where we have a natural aggressive side, mainly boys do, and the way you get out of it is this basically we have to fight, vent, and eventually we always come to realization this is stupid. Why are we doing this? And become best friends. There are some kids who are just, they are full of so much emotion or rage. You don't know what's going on at home, but like sometimes that actually does help them vent, But nowadays, if you get caught, you're going to jail immediately, even if you're defending yourself. Like you're stupid.
Jackson, it's wrong of Jay to bully you. And I think you should go settle it. But if you're going to, you better get there before 8:00 because Jay's usually in bed by 8:30.
Yeah, Jay's actually up pretty late tonight.
Well, it's probably an AI Jay. It's Jay.
Oh yeah, it's a younger version of Jay. Yeah. No, but like I said,
Jackson calls me old, and he's going, my friend from 1970. God,
I read it's 1917 at first. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
No, you just sound like you're dyslexic.
Yeah. Ever since Jake got a new dog, he's pretty much kind of corded himself off from everyone else and just hangs out with his dog. He carries it in his arm like it's a baby, and then goes to bed early around like 5.
Raise your hand if Kennedy was president when you were born. Don't see a lot of hands going.
Well, no one's on camera. It was me.
I'm sure Jackson, he might have been tail end of it, but he's a year younger than me. But
no,
see, I was 69. So who's
Nixon?
69? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, so I thought I'm a Nixon baby.
Yeah, I think Reagan was president when I was born. 85.
He was.
Yeah,
he was 81 to 80.
88.
Yeah.
See, I grew up when it was like the second season of Miami Vice was airing.
Oh, by the way, that show I'm watching now, Dark Winds.
Yeah.
Remember the two the hippie cop and the hip black partner?
Okay.
The hippie cop is a recurring character on Dark Winds.
Oh, nice.
He's old now. He's playing an older dude, and his wife in the show is Jerry Ryan.
Oh, nice.
Jerry Ryan is in 7.
Yes.
Yes, 9 of 7.
Yeah, she end up as she was a rich, maybe crooked character on Bosch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, she was on Bosch.
Kind of the same thing in this, I think. But
I was trying to remember if she was on Bosch or Justified. I remember she was on there, and she was like in a gated community. That was Bosch. Yeah.
Bosch. Yeah, that was Bosch.
There was one she was going to kill her husband.
I think so, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. But
I think the guy that played her husband in that was on Justified. Brent Sexton, I think his name was.
Might be.
Big burly guy with a beard.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably what you're thinking of.
So yeah, there's a new show coming out with Scott Speedman. If you know who Scott Speedman is, he started off in Felicity as the love interest. Yeah, he was in Underworld. He was Michael, the one who comes a hybrid. So and then he was in
Didn't he marry Kate Beckinsale for a bit?
I don't know if he did or not. Probably not. But I know that Kate Beckinsale, during the filming of Underworld 2, she was married to the guy, the director over that, and while filming the sex scene, it was kind of weird. But no, so what I was gonna say is that he's got a new show coming out. It's called RJ Parker or something like that. And it's supposed to he's supposed to be like
Speedman?
What's that?
That's Scott Speedman?
That's Scott Speedman.
Okay, I've seen commercials for that.
Yeah. And I was reading up on it. Apparently, he works with his journalist ex-girlfriend and her lover, who's also a woman.
No, I've seen a commercial for Demi Lovato tour.
Yeah,
she's a woman again.
Yeah, she's been dating a guy ever since.
She gave up on all that nonsense.
So, and then that's the other one that the other girl that was like forgot what name. She was a Disney star or JoJo. So where was
Siwa? They're just Siwa.
Yeah. It turns out both those women just need to get laid by a man, and now they're normal again.
That reminds me of when Saturday Night Live called Anne Heche a lesbian of convenience.
Yeah,
when she ended a relationship with Ellen and married a dude.
Yeah. Yep. He's got a new show coming out, and he's basically be a private eye in Florida. So I'm like, I might tune into this. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Burn Notice.
It looks a little cookie cutter to me, but that might not be a bad thing.
And it's, I think it's going to be ABC.
Yeah, that will go as far as
one season, maybe.
If he is likable. Yeah. If he's likable, that it should survive.
So the pilot is in March, and then Scrubs is coming back on ABC as well.
They don't hate.
No.
Well, but we've seen them in those phone commercials all those years in the interim.
No, but the girl, the love interest, the blonde in there,
doesn't age either.
She's the same age. The guy also, the janitor guy who's now the doctor.
Yeah,
they have him. The only one that's not come back is the older man, the older doctor that was in the show.
He's dead. I think.
Yeah, he's dead. I think so. So
it's hard to bring him back.
I have never seen an episode of Scrubs.
I've seen parts of it, and it was okay. But I know that the guy, the main character in there, he's a kind of a far left weirdo. In real life.
Zach Braff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is, but but I remember Phil liked that show a lot.
I had friends that loved it. Yeah, I think Zach actually likes it.
It's a funny show. The Dr. Cox was my favorite character on there. He was just an asshole.
Was that the guy who was always bullying him?
Yeah.
I always thought he was that's right. Yeah, that's right. He wasn't the janitor. It was a different guy who was the janitor.
Yeah, the janitor is not going to be on the show. Dr. Cox, he's yeah.
Oh yeah, and that guy who plays Dr. Cox was also. It sounds like we're talking about a porno here for the 70s. Was actually in was it Old Dogs? I think it was with John Travolta and stuff.
He also played in what was that movie with Office Space? He was one of the two guys.
Oh yeah, okay. Was he the guy that was always asking, like, can you come in on the day? Was he the boss?
No, he was one of the two people coming in to He's one of the two efficiency experts.
Oh, okay.
With
Yeah.
curly hair.
Okay,
Neil Flynn is the gender. Okay.
Here's you can run with this. Speaking of Cox, you remember Nikki Cox
Yeah.
from Unhappily Ever After?
She aged.
Well, she did some bad Botox. She traded up from Bobcat Goldthwait. She was sleeping with the kid that played her brother on the show. Dumped him for Bobcat Goldthwait, and then dumped him for Jay Moore. But
and then Jay Moore got she was so messed up. Jay Moore just done.
I saw her on a talk show back before she went booga.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Conan O'Brien. They were talking, and she is off the cuff says, "Well, I figure if the acting doesn't work, if this kind of acting doesn't work out, I'll just add an extra X to my last name and go into porn."
Is that where she is now?
No, but she was so cool back in the day. I just don't know what happened to her. Like I said, it's just unfortunate because she was
Smoke.
Smoke show and a half.
I think there was, if you look into it, yeah. I mean, there was an interview with Jay Moore and talking about how her life became so fell apart after that show and everything.
Wait a second, Jay Moore's banging the chick that owns the Lakers.
The comedian, Jay Moore.
No, it's Jeannie Buss owns the Lakers. She inherited from her dad.
Did not know that.
2 S's on Buss, but yeah, she's pretty hot still. But if you're banging her, you don't have to worry about your next acting.
Was Jay Moore ever on Mad TV?
I don't know, but he was in a show. I can't remember the name of the show. It was on one year, and Buddy Hackett was the co-star.
I know talking about.
Oh my god, that show was hysterical.
And
they found a body in the pool, and Jay and again, wait a second. I thought dead bodies and then you see, up there it goes.
Yeah, he might have been in very bad things too as well. I have to look up Jay Moore's IMDb, but
I thought that was a really funny movie.
I thought he was great. Yeah, it's very, very snarky.
Yeah, Jay Moore is like his popularity kind of fizzled out, and it kind of sucks because he was one of my favorite actors in the 90s. I do the corrections around here. Brain, thanks, says Jay. Wow. So Jay Moore dumped her for Jeannie Buss. Wow. Yeah. And I guess Jay doesn't he doesn't care for the new Scrubs reboot. Honestly, I'm curious to see how well it will do because right now, Nathan Fillion's show has been on for 8 seasons. And what's Nathan Fillion?
Oh,
the rookie. It's been on for 8 seasons. I didn't think that show was going to last because we had another show called Whiskey Cavalier, which is also quirky just like it too. And it had Lauren Cohan from The Walking Dead was on there. That show lasted a season and was gone, despite having a huge following. It's weird what ABC keeps and what they get rid of, especially if their Modern Family was leaving too. You think they'd want to keep a show?
Yeah, apparently he's apparently Jay Moore did something called Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty.
Okay,
that's before he met her. But he's still acting a lot. But I'm looking up that show is very early 2000s or tail end.
I was watching the other day. I was watching the Norm Macdonald show.
That was fucking a genius. That guy was a genius.
That was I loved it. That's like one of the best shows I watched growing up. Jeannie Buss in Winning Time is cute. Oh,
yeah. Well, she's 64 and looks hot still. So I said, no. Yeah, he was.
Did she got good genes?
She does actually. Good genes.
So the other thing that's been popping up and my timeline on Twitter a lot is they want the female version of Brokeback Mountain with Anna Diana Moss and Sydney Sweeney. I think it's called Scissorback Mountain or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, how many guys would probably go watch that?
Wow.
That actually was made.
The show is called Action, and it only lasted 13 episodes. Because we're talking about best 1-year show, and okay, and I had the same one.
Yeah.
Did you ever see a show called Terriers?
Sounds familiar, but never watched it.
It had the guy from the guy that played Bullock on Gotham.
Okay.
And you'd recognize him from everything. He's this great. Donald Logue is his name. And he's been in a bunch of stuff that's been fantastic. But
yeah, he was in terms of endearment or not? What was it? It was
Jack Nicholson that was in Terms of Endearment.
No, not the movie, the show. Yeah. Where he was on the CW or the WB before it became CW. It was a show about him and having with his kids and stuff and his family. I forgot what it's called. But
he was in another show called Copper that was set in 1861. Right before the Civil War got cranked up, and it was a terrific show. That was 2 years. Unfortunately, it didn't couldn't find an audience.
What I'm shocked about is that the Lincoln Lawyer show didn't last that long on ABC, despite being connected to Bosch. So,
isn't the Lincoln Lawyer? That's his boss's like stepbrother or something like that, or
it's his half brother.
Yeah,
because his dad basically left him and his mom and remarried, and they had in the Bosch series, Titus Welliver had his real life son play him when he was younger, going to after he gets out of the military or whatever, go and talk to his dad, and yeah,
that's kind of weird because there was actually the same thing happened in NCIS where they had Mark Harmon's son playing a younger version of Gibbs.
Well, it's also happening in Monarch with Kurt Russell and his son.
Speaking of, do you have any interest in the Bosch prequel?
There's a Bosch prequel?
Yeah.
I did not know about that.
I don't think I do because I didn't.
It's the first I'm hearing about it.
Yeah,
Who's playing?
I have no idea.
Wow.
If I can't have Titus Welliver playing Bosch, I don't think I want.
I don't know if they do another season with Maggie Q, if I'll go back and watch it.
Oh, I will. I thought that was terrific.
Because they killed off the one of the guys I liked.
That's what happened to me in Paradise. They killed my favorite character in the third episode.
Yeah, so the guy's gone. I mean,
there are a lot of good characters in that show.
Sure.
The fat bald gay dude, I loved his character.
Oh yeah.
And I loved his home scenes because they didn't take it seriously.
No. No. But my thing is that who are they going to get replaced the other guy? Because the other guy came off because he came off a little bit of douchey a little bit, but he was down to earth and
that was by design because they made by the time it happened to him, you cared because you found out he was just he's a rich guy getting his kicks. No, he really cared and worked as hard as everybody else.
Yep.
And it cost him everything. Yep. And that like I said, I thought the show was incredibly well done. But I expect nothing less from that universe. And I'm sure the prequel will be great. But I just don't know if I want to, it's prequels are okay when it's the same people like they did with Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I said I'm still salty about not getting any more Bosch. And
here's the thing though, I don't know if his son is an actor or whatever, but it'd be kind of cool if his son could actually play him as younger version in the prequel.
I don't know, but
that'd be awesome, but it probably won't happen. But so I did not know they was gonna do a prequel. I mean, the shows I'm looking forward to coming back is Reacher, seeing if they'll have a better villain than because we were talking about this, Rob and I. Tulsa King had another whimper of a villain.
Speaking of, Pat McAfee's going to do a 4-episode arc on next season's Tulsa King.
Really? Yeah. Rob, he's like, guess who's going to join the Tulsa King thing? I'm like,
it's funny.
Okay.
Like my brother, ended up liking Tulsa King much better than Landman. He hated Landman season 2.
Wow.
I mean, just despised it until the last episode.
Well, it is a different animal than the first season. So
I think when I looking back, he has some points, they filmed that season in about 7 hours. Because there was no time almost between the first 2 seasons. Hopefully, season 3 they'll put put a little more thought into it. I liked it. I don't know why he had such a bug up his butt over it, but
Night Jackson. Well, it's one of the positive things about the second season of Landman is the fact he had character growth. I like that.
I think that was Phil's argument that there wasn't any. He said the daughter regressed. In
the beginning, they kind of did a little bit, but then you realize.
I'm not saying I agreed with him on any of these, but except for one. I need Angela to grow as a character because we've had 2 years of her being, vapid at best, a see you next Tuesday at worst, and you started to see that in the last episode or two.
Yes,
I want that to continue because we've seen enough of that version of her.
Well,
because
with him,
we love each other. She's got to, not like my husband doesn't have any money. Give me your platinum card.
So Tommy Senior or sorry, Tommy Junior, based pretty much, it's just character growth, realizing what he has because his dad convinces him. So it shows him the ways, his the error of his ways. Once Tommy started putting effort in it, you saw that Angela started putting, and she started calming down a little bit. She wasn't as.
That's what I've got. I mean, I like season 2. I think I like season 1 a little bit better, but I'm very much looking forward to season 3.
Do you know what I liked? I liked that Sam Elliott, who's a far left liberal, making fun of The View. I did not have my bingo card.
Yeah, I know he's spouted off a couple times, but I don't know if he's if that was just going along. Who his best friend is?
His best friend's a conservative, isn't it?
Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
So I don't know how far left he is, but
don't know. Maybe he's just like I said.
Yeah, but and honestly, I don't care. I mean, we know that and I keep hoping Alan Richardson will grow out of it, but it doesn't make me enjoy Reacher any less.
No, but as far as Landman go, I want Demi Moore's character to come back and be even more of a threat. I want her as let her be the villain.
She's gonna be back, but I mean,
yeah.
You know what I don't want to have happen? I don't want Andy Garcia to go full villain.
I don't think he will.
I mean, they almost have to, but I hope it doesn't happen. Just like I kept reading Joshua Williamson's Superman, hoping that he could resist the temptation to turn Lex evil again.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think
well, Lex is full on evil right now in the main universe on DC. They totally nerfed all that crap.
Yeah, DC, see that. I'm glad I don't watch them.
That was DCKO.
Zach, get in here. We're talking. We're BSing now. You can come on for a minute.
So Landman's okay, but Follow is great. I disagree. I think it's the opposite around. Follow was all right. If you've never played the video games and you just kind of realize, hey, it's gonna be a little bit of quirky. The main girl's hot. That really helps out. Walter Goggins. It's really the Walter Goggins show though. For Landman, it was fantastic. I liked it.
But I think the more time in the rearview mirror, the more I like Tulsa King.
Mm-hmm.
Now I said I kind of wish that Samuel L. Jackson would stay on Tulsa King as his right hand man versus his own show.
Yeah,
I trust. I'm sure it'll be great, but
yeah,
But
the problem Rob and I have with Tulsa King is that the villains are weak. It's and I basically had to tell him it's like the reason that the villains aren't really villains on and Tulsa King is because the fact it's a camp show. You're not going to have a big. I liked having what's his name on there, Patrick. Was it?
I didn't like his character, but I liked the guy personally so much that I kind of wish he had. You know what? I'd like to see him do one of these shows
Yeah.
as the face. You know,
But-
because he was, you know, like I said, we've seen him now as a cartoon supervillain
Yeah.
on Reacher and Tulsa King. I want to see him as a good guy.
That's the thing. That was Rob's complaint. He said though we got him basically the T1000 guy actor. You know, I think it's Roy Patrick. His name is. I can't remember his name is. Robert Patrick. Yeah. His character in Tulsa King was the same character he played in Reacher.
Yeah, but I mean, what? You know, I'm wondering how many. You know, like I said, 3 full-on conservatives on that show. Because Neil O'Donnell or McDonough is a conservative,
and he plays a fantastic villain whenever he goes.
Oh, him coming back and now he's going to be like the governor, or you know.
Yeah, I think it's governor.
Yeah. I was glad they brought him back. I thought they were going to write him off, but I'm glad they brought him back. I mean, I'm enjoying seeing Mitch Keller, played by Garrett Hedlund, get more screen time, a little more.
Yeah,
originally, yeah, he's
conservative.
I don't know, but he started off in the Blue Lagoon movie. Apparently, Return to Blue Lagoon or one of those. He was with Kerry Russell.
That'd probably be a return because the original one
had
Shields.
Or I don't think it was Brooke Shields. It was rather because he was one of them. He has the long haired boy that was on that one with her.
Yeah, the original was Brooke Shields and
yeah,
Miles O'Keefe or something.
Yeah,
or no, Christopher Atkins.
Yeah, so yeah, he was on one of those things, and then he went on to do it was Tron, Legacy. I think it was. Yeah, but sounds like Geekeasy wants to leave though.
Yeah, I've got to do some things, and I've got to get ready for the celebration of oldness tomorrow. Oh,
your birthday?
Yeah.
Man.
So do you finally hit 60?
57.
57. Wow, you are a kid.
Right?
So I'm gonna go see that Psycho Killer tomorrow. And I have a phone interview for a job tomorrow, and I'm gonna go to the movies and
good luck.
Then I'm gonna have dinner at my sister's house on Saturday.
You have a job now, though, don't you?
Yeah, it sucks. I'm a delivery driver for Napa, and they're pissing me off, and I'm getting the little power.
Right.
Well, the reason why I asked that was because I've found it's my experience that if you have a job, it's a lot easier to get another one.
Yeah. And so this is, and also I have experience in it's going to be a phone interview for a manager in training at Enterprise, and I worked at Hertz for a long time, so I have experience.
How long did you work for Hertz?
About 6 years.
Did I ever tell you how I got fired from Hertz?
How did you get fired?
I love the story.
We were driving downtown on a shuttle, and there were these 2 girls that they hired, and they were dreadful. I mean, they would get lost in the parking lot, and we would our job was to go pick up cars and bring them back.
Yeah, you're a transporter.
Yeah, so we were driving down and somebody had a box of Ritz crackers, and they started throwing them around the van.
Oh, no.
And a full one landed on me, so I tossed it back to this girl named Kathleen and said, "Here, Kathleen, sit on this." And she goes, "Why?" I go, "Because everything tastes better when it sits on a Ritz." Do you remember those commercials?
Yes.
Andy Griffith. Well, apparently I was in Mansfield when I was fired. They let me drive the car home or back to the airport, and I was so fired that my tire was low on my car. They wouldn't even let me use their air.
Damn.
Now, to be fair, one of the things we used to do for fun was we'd be driving down the expressway at 70, 80 miles an hour and throw the cars into park.
Driving like it's rented.
To see how bad the gears would grind. I was sitting in the passenger side one time trying to hit road pylons with the door. And I opened the door and I got one, didn't realize it was a double. And they go flying up in the air, bouncing down the expressway. It's this 18-wheeler. I look up and the 18-wheeler, the truck driver's laughing so hard. He knew what I was trying to do. And it didn't hurt his. He's freaking driving a tank.
Yeah.
He's laughing so hard he almost runs off the road. And we pull off to get lunch, and I looked, and that door was total. And I'm scared to death. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to go on. Nobody ever said a word. And I get fired for sexual harassment.
I started out as corporate, then they sold it and became what's the other one for not corporate but franchise. And one of the managers from the corporate went over and became the manager of the franchise. And not that it mattered, but he wound up firing me. And then like 2 or 3 days after he fired me, he went into the hospital and died. So if you fire me, you die.
Dang.
My best friend in high school ended up, he moved, but ended up being a career guy at Hertz and ended up being a pretty big wig there. But we didn't work there at the same time. I don't think he worked there. I can't remember if he did or not. But it was I remember one day one of my buddies we were at one of the pickup centers, and they handed him the keys to a Fairmont. He goes, "Fairmont? I'm not driving a fucking Fairmont." Threw the keys back at her and rode home with somebody else. Suffice to say, he was fired.
Zach, I'm not reading Absolute Batman, so no, I did not see Erica Kante's ArtNet.
Great for him though. I mean, I can say I've been on a panel with the guy drawing the biggest book in the industry.
Nice. Twice, right? Aaron, there twice with him?
I can't remember if it was once or twice, but I said I told him he was a member of the Legion of Erics because Eric Sullivan's on there too, and I mean it's not a real common name, and 3 of us running around there.
Eric Sullivan, yeah. I think of the late night show. Sullivan.
He's a trip.
Yeah.
He's a guy out of.
Is that the guy they call Sully? That guy that's on the show? Yeah. Okay, yeah, he's the one I probably would love to have the most on the show here. He just seems like he has the biggest sense of humor.
I'll be see you next Thursday, people.
All right, see you, Jeff.
All right, see you.
You would just call me
Thursday. I called you Thursday.
Okay.
Bye.
I don't know what his schedule is outside of because I know he does a lot of videos and Saturday morning, but I could probably reach out to him, see if he'd come on, hang out with us one night.
If he wants to come on and just talk, I don't know if
he buys weekly comics still.
Shit, have him come on Tuesday night if he wants to talk about his pull list, what he's excited for. We'll go over it and stuff.
Yeah,
or Thursday if you want. I know he I think he does his own stuff, doesn't he?
He does do his own. Like in the middle of the afternoon, he's a legit chef, so he probably works nights. Honestly, I would love to have Josh on too on the channel too as well. Talking about Josh McDonald. Yes, your buddy Josh. We'll get Josh and Joe on the same time on the channel. Like I said, that was a trip. Ed Sullivan was on Sunday nights back in the day. Yeah, Sully. It's. I always get a kick watching like the aficionados because Sully's like the big kid. He's me. Everyone's like kind of more serious. And here's me just like saying the stupidest shit sometimes. But yeah, I forgot what it was now when I did the thing with Josh and Joe, and they started talking about the difference between 2 kinds of gays, and I just let them talk for a couple minutes. And I've never been so lost in my life. That was also one of the most fun live streams I've ever been on. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy with you? Yeah, I love Josh. I get a huge kick out of him. Yeah, Josh seems like they're both highly intelligent, which is it's to have 2 guys in there. Not only are both gay, but critically intelligent on the same stream. They were showing variant covers to Unholy Nightmare tonight, and they've got some cosplay covers.
Oh, there was Drew on there too?
Where they have like these girls wearing next to nothing.
Yes.
And it looks like the cover of the comic is like a VHS box. and all I can think of is, well, I don't know what Josh is getting out of this. I commented, I said, I watched every disgusting frame of this live stream twice. They laughed, but I'm not sure they got it.
Oh, yeah. Porky's.
Yes.
Yeah. Never seen the movie, but I know the quotes because you and Aaron always say them all the time.
You don't have to have seen the movie to know that quote in Kim Cattrall making the coyote sound when she's getting banged.
I did see that scene online. Yeah. A twink and a bear.
No, but
I
Twink was one, but I can't remember what the other one was now, and I'm not going to ask. But yeah, Josh, he reached out to me. It's been almost 2 years now, wanting me to do something, regularly with him. It just never happened. But I haven't been on with. I don't think I've talked to him in over a year because I said I don't do Wes's thing anymore. But
yeah, whenever I see Sully, for those who watched what is it called? The Impractical Jokers, whatever it is, the shit show I'm talking about. The four guys, they're best friends, and they just play pictures.
Yeah, it's on True TV or something.
Yeah. I feel like Sully could be one of the fifth guy on there if you really wanted to be. He's got that sense of humor. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I like everybody that Wes has on there.
Mm-hmm.
There have been some. I said, admittedly, Eric Canetti is so low key that it's hard to get a gauge on him. Nice enough guy.
Who's the younger guy that's on there? He's always on there.
Oh, that's Dylan.
Dylan.
He has a channel that blew up. He was the one that got kicked out of his LCS for raising a ruckus about Zach's first Jawbreakers book.
Oh,
because they refused to carry it, or something like that, and he
filmed it
like overnight. Ended up with like 60-something thousand subscribers.
Wow.
He doesn't get those kind of views, but
no.
And he's now on the aficionados more often than not. Good kid. I think he's just into newer stuff. I don't know that he.
Well, I love the dynamic though because you look at the age range on that whole entire cast of people on that panel. Dylan being the younger one, it's kind of like he's like the Zach. You don't know what.
I've done a couple of them with him.
Yeah, and
I would imagine there's probably every bit of 30 years difference between the two of us. I know Wes is pushing 50 now. I would imagine Aaron's getting close.
Oh, so over on Extreme Movie Show, we did an RIP stream for Robert Duvall, and it's very clear. I told other people I've just never been interested in the movie The Godfather, and it's one of the things he was really noticeable for. Robert Duvall was in there, and so I looked the other day. I'm looking at the comments and here's Paulo is there. He's like, you gotta get that Venkman guy, get Clockwork Orange, strap him to the chair, make him watch the best movie ever made.
Look, Paulo is 38 going on 70.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna give you shit because I think I was in my 50s when I watched Godfather for the first time.
Yeah,
and I mean it's every bit as good as they said it was.
It's for me. I'm not a big Marlon Brandon or Brandon
Brando, but that's too bad because he's there's no better actor than Marlon Brando. Because he was one of the early method actors. Well, and he could play anything.
I liked him in a I forget what movie it was, but it was a younger movie he did with I think it was Paul Newman. Oh, I can't remember if it's Paul Newman. It was.
I think he made a movie.
Or no, it was Robert Redford. That's what it was. Him and Robert Redford did a movie together. The Chase. I love that movie, and I thought he did real well in there. It's just that after Superman, he just became marbles in his mouth, and I just
that's
got worse.
That's a bad representation, but I mean, like A Streetcar Named Desire. It's an incredible movie. The Wild Ones. Apocalypse Now. He was literally Jabba the Hutt by then. And he was. They were able to get him for like one scene, but he in his younger days, he did a lot of really good work, and he was he's a tremendous actor. But yeah, Godfather and it's weird. Godfather and Godfather 2. Do you know what the distinction that holds?
That the sequel is better than the original.
It depending on who you ask, but two different actors won Best Actor playing the same character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Robert De Niro played Don Corleone as a younger man in flashback sequences. I think in the second one,
nice.
He won for that.
Is it the guy who's on Miami Vice? Don, whatever his name is, or wasn't that guy there? I had to look at the cast again. There was a regular on Miami Vice. He always played like a gangster type, and he had the white hair, the gray hair. He always had the mustache.
Probably Dennis Farina.
Yeah, that's what I think of. Dennis Farina. Was he in Godfather?
He might have been. There are a lot of people.
It's a huge cast. Yeah, I remember that. But
someday, I hope you watch that and go, yeah, this is good. I mean, the first two, the Godfather 3 gets killed, but
Godfather 3 is because I heard that bombed mainly because Robert Duvall turned on the movie too.
Well, the only one left was Pacino, but
they wouldn't pay Robert Duvall any fair wage.
You can't to get 3 movies of that quality is just too much to ask for. Yeah. I mean, as a standalone, it's a fine movie. Compared to the other 2, it's a huge disappointment.
Right. Secondhand Lions, Trusty Rose would talk about that movie. We talked about. Never watched it, but I remember that was another big movie Robert Duvall had in the 2000s. I didn't know that Michael Caine was in there, but then again, I haven't looked at the cover in a while too. So yeah, he probably is on the cover. But Robert Duvall, for me, his greatest roles were in Falling Down. I liked him in the original True Grit. He was in Deep Impact. I think it was another one he was in. I think it was that one. He was in. We just reviewed that movie. Can't remember what it's called, but he was a cab driver in it though for a brief seconds.
Marlon Brando, Al Pacino, James Caan. Spoiler: it doesn't end well for him. Robert Duvall, Sterling Hayden. Do you remember Dr. Strangelove?
The original movie, yeah.
He's the army guy that goes nuts and barricades himself in his offices.
Okay.
Richard Conte, Diane Keaton, Abe Vigoda, Talia Shire, John Cazale died very young. Died at age 42, looked 70.
Zach, what rewatch? I've never watched Secondhand Lions, so I don't know what you mean by the rewatch.
Alex Rocco, Vito Scotti. I'm looking down. I haven't run into Dennis Farina yet.
Oh, maybe he's on it. Yeah,
he might be in the second one.
Maybe I'm thinking that he was in it because he plays those types of characters. So
no doubt.
Yeah, I would have figured he would have been in something like that. Yeah, but then again, that was 84 or 85 when he started appearing on Miami Vice. So I don't know what he was doing around then.
Let's see.
What did I see? There was another actor, Michael. Michael Mann tweeted out a thing because Tom Newman had died 2 days ago.
No, I'm sorry, Vito Corleone. Duh. Yeah. Pacino is Don Corleone.
Let's
see.
Yeah, so
Ruby was in the second one.
yeah, so we're watching and reviewing the first season of Miami Vice on the channel. We're doing this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We just did the pilot episode, and it's just fantastic. I'm Miami Vice is one of those few shows where I can go back and a year later and just rewatch it and just have fun with it because it's such quality made, entertaining. The music, as I was telling him, is like Rob, the music on Miami Vice is without it, it's like taking Queen away from Flash Gordon or Highlander.
God, I just got depressed.
Like,
I was looking at the cast of Godfather 2. Kathleen Beller, she was this just super young looking chick on Dynasty. She's gonna be 70.
that's what happens, man. You look at how old that movie is.
I know. That movie's 52 years old now.
It's got ARP now.
But yeah, they're definitely, like I said, definitely worth watching. They truly are two of the best movies ever made. But again, I said if it's not your cup of tea, then like I said, I kept putting it off because they're long, but they're so like, engrossing that
people like, what was that? The Departed. I couldn't get into it. Yeah, I didn't go and watch it. I saw the trailer and I just didn't really see that interesting. What was another one? Oh, that was popular. Inception. That's another one people were bragging about how great that was, and I'm just like, I haven't been really excited to go see any movies in the theaters. Really, I've been going back and watching a lot of Hong Kong like 80s like action movies stuff, or I've been watching like from the 40s, man.
Marania's bringing up the Great Santini. Phil raves about that. I've never watched it. I need to. It's it's just one of those 70s masterpieces I've never gotten around to.
No one doesn't make bad movies. I disagree. The Batman #3 sucked. Is of that trilogy.
Of what?
Of the Batman trilogy with Nolan. I didn't like the last one with Bane and stuff. With Tom Hardy. That was just. Oh. But other than that, like I said, I liked Interstellar. And did he also direct The Martian? Was that also a Nolan film? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I don't know.
It was a bad movie. Sorry. It was awful. Yes, it's me, Tom Hardy as Bane. That's literally what it sounded like to me. I thought I was getting the Harley Quinn Bane, which they make fun of all the time. And it was.
I want to see The Dark Knight remade with Steven Crowder as Tranny Bane.
Yes.
That's still.
I know Tranny.
You remember, like right after we met, I turned you on to those Crowder videos with the Avengers and Captain America.
Well, yeah, I've been watching Crowder even before that. Yeah,
I don't know if those are still up, but
yeah,
the Avengers one was fucking hysterical when they kept bringing in Lena Dunham.
Oh my gosh. No.
I gotta see if those are still up. I need.
They probably still up, but I don't know if they're on YouTube. I don't know if they're on YouTube. They might be on Rumble. Yeah, I still watch Crowder on Rumble. Trying to think what else, but yeah, kind of like it's weird how there's a lot of cinema. I just don't care for the newer stuff these days. Not saying it's bad. It's just that it doesn't appeal to me.
It's still there.
Yes.
And then right underneath, Captain America goes super gay.
Which one? There's multiple now. I know. But yeah. I just say this. You see, Zach saying Harley Quinn Bane was a ripoff of Nolan's Bane.
Steve Rogers was sick.
I just texted it to you.
All right.
No one to quit,
Can't wait to watch this again.
That's why I always do the Harley Quinn like this. Yes, it's I, Bane. I want my pudding, because that's what he is in the Harley Quinn show, and it's actually freaking hilarious. No, but they missed. DC dropped the ball. They should have got Batista before he bulked down, slimmed down, and have him just be. Well, actually, you could still have him be Bane.
Oh, he's big enough still, but
yeah,
he's also 58 years old.
Who cares? You put a mask on him, we're not going to know.
No.
He's seasoned, okay? And this digital will make him a little bigger when he uses the Venom stuff. He's not like Jeep Swanson. Is that what his name was? The guy who was in the Batman Robin movie, what it was?
I have no idea who that is.
Okay, he was a wrestler, ex-wrestler, Jeep Swanson. And he was with the Poison Ivy. That was one with Poison Ivy. Uma Thurman was Poison Ivy in that one. And you had, it was right after Batman Forever. And they had actually, no, was it? No, wasn't. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Batman and Robin, because you had Arnold as Mr. Freeze, and he had Jeep Swenson, or what was like he was an ex-wrestler, and he was his Bane. He didn't say anything, but he looked like the part. He was just a little short. That's all. But yeah, I want the South American, Bane just like taunting you and just like, I'm going to break you, Batman. Like I want that shit. And him being not only just like a tactical man, just yeah. But I'm afraid though, like we're gonna get. Remember we saw in Gotham, Shane West. That was horrible for Bane.
I like Shane West, just not right for that.
Exactly. It's like the Walk from Remember kid, and also the guy from the Division is now Bane. And he didn't grow in size; he just stayed the same. It's just like I have a mechanical suit, like you have an exoskeleton suit on. You're just wearing an Iron Man armor without the shell.
Yeah, stupid. Phil got curious about Nikita because of Ballard.
Yeah,
and he
doesn't like it.
No, it's so absurd that he couldn't stop watching, and he's going to make it to the end.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't watch the final season. As one of the shows, I just did not watch the final season. I forgot about it, and I just never had the urge to go back. Because you had the guy who played Gregory on The Walking Dead was on there. He was the bad guy.
My favorite role of his was George Mason on 24. He's the guy that flew the nuke into over the desert and sacrificed himself.
Never seen it. Never seen 24. It's another show that I just never saw. I saw Lost halfway through, and I basically what was airing, and I said to my friends, they're probably all dead.
Lost took itself way too seriously and started smelling its own farts. 24 is just one preposterous situation after another, but it is enormously entertaining.
Well, yeah, him trying to do all this in one day.
Yeah.
What?
But that's, and amazingly enough, even with terror threats, there was never a traffic problem in LA. But no, I said, you would get hooked on it. I think I know you well enough to know that.
Did he ever have time to take showers?
That was the running joke that he, it's like, you never, I said, for 8 years, we waited for him to just say, I got to hit the head. One time.
Well, that was a running joke too with on Walking Dead with Gerald Dixon. Throughout the series, everyone was shown at least one scene that they took a shower. He never was shown taking a shower.
24 hours and didn't have to piss once.
Yeah.
But it was like I said, not well. I did ask a buddy of mine who was a federal agent.
Yeah.
And the first time I talked to him when I moved into this house, we're just talking, and he goes, "Oh, nice green roof you have." And I'm like, what the he was looking at my roof through satellite imagery. That was 2005.
Yeah.
And so I asked him, made me think. I said, how out there is the shit on 24? And he goes, not as out there as you'd think.
Wow.
Some of the shit we can do. It's like, yikes. But
yeah, you can see that. I love the government. We can see a person taking a shit on the moon with our cameras, but we can't see the redacted files on Epstein.
remember the cop that Annie Wershing in the early seasons of Bosch, the redhead, the actress died.
Yes, yeah.
She was Jack's girlfriend one year, and he actually took the time to,
She got around as far as like of her characters. She was also on Bosch.
That's what it said.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, she was on Bosch. Wasn't she? She wasn't in 24.
No, she was on both. I said
wow.
I said you know her from Bosch.
Okay, I didn't hear the Bosch part. I was kind of tuned out a little bit.
But yeah, she was in a time travel show that I really liked. It's like the main villain. The chick that oh god, she's in something now, but I can't remember what it was. Where that doctor comes to a small town, but she was in a show called Rectify that I absolutely loved.
There's Stumptown?
No.
I don't know.
No, it's out now. It's one of those quirky shows where all the characters are quirky, and this doctor comes to that town, and it's on one of the networks. I just can't remember what it is.
If Lex Luthor is Musk in comic books, who is Epstein? Never really gave two thoughts about it now as far as if the Epstein was in the DC universe, what character would he most likely be?
Well, it's funny that they, the Day of the Jackal season 1.
Yeah.
One of the main plot is their version of Elon Musk is going to release this thing called River that's going to change the world, and this corporation hires the Jackal to kill him before it can get released.
I like the guy from I forgot what his actor's name is offhand. I'll figure out what it is, and then like a couple months later I'll forget what it is again. But the Naked Gun, the new one, the villain in there was supposed to be like I want to say his last name is, it starts with H, or but anyway, you're supposed to be like another Elon Musk thing, He wanted to do like the world domination stuff, It was just like I rolled my eyes at it because it wasn't like it was tongue in cheek. It wasn't meant to like a jab, saying like where somebody's where they actually like will try to make out and he's the villain for everything, make it political, but overall, I said Naked Gun was pretty cool. And as far as I said, going back to the questions, Lex Luthor is Elon Musk. The richest man in the world. Apparently, now Elon Musk is. I thought someone else was for a while, but yeah. Also, Epstein's alive. Hashtag. Just kidding. Yeah, the people are saying that Epstein. We'll end on here, kind of here, but Epstein wasn't really his body that ruled out because the tattoo was missing, and then they're saying now the what's her name?
Giselle.
Giselle or whatever. They're saying that's not really her. That was doing the interview stuff, the court thing. They're saying because it looks nothing like her. They're saying it's a double, according to Reddit, because Reddit's always right, of course. And then. So I was watching Asmund Gold, and he's like, well, we'll take 2 photos of her, and we'll put them on Grok and see what Grok says. Grok says there's a 95% chance that these are 2 different people. And then and so he puts it in the Gemini, AI thing, and it says they had the exact same answer.
Oh.
So I mean, if you can believe the conspiracy side, people are saying that also that there was 2 Joe Bidens, there was a clone, or someone that made up look like him, a body double.
By the way, we're just about at 3 hours, so we should probably wrap it.
I said that was the last thing I was going to talk about. Is that?
Yeah, this is a very enjoyable conversation.
Yeah, he said like it's nice when Jeff leaves. In this case, just kidding. Jeff's a cool guy, you know. And this is the most I've seen of Zach. You know, yeah. He's on his phone. I guess you don't have your PC.
Yeah, so he's moving and he's at his parents right now, and his computer's not there.
Your parents don't have a computer? That's a crazy thing. It's like I know everybody has a computer now. Maybe like in the 20 years ago, people were just first getting computers.
Yeah. But would he just be able to get on there and come on here, and they might not have any. The microphone and the computer might be shit. You never know.
You never know. Hey, you were in a cotton candy machine for like 3 years or 2.
No,
your camera.
Yeah, that laptop was older than some of the people on the live stream.
Oh, Zach, when are you getting? Yeah, a few weeks after the honeymoon. So you're getting married within next week, or you're not already married, are you? So.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't invite us.
I know, right? You're out of the will, Zach.
Yeah.
You didn't invite your dad. Folks don't have a webcam or a microphone.
Well, Zach was within like 10 miles of me one time. He came through town and I didn't know it. I would have tried to meet up with him if I'd known that.
Zach went with I think it was with Izzy. They went to a concert in Chicago. Didn't even say a word to me.
Oh, it's a wedding is Saturday. Well, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Yeah. Tell Izzy it's till death do you part. There's no divorce. That's the whole point of it. And also, Izzy needs to come on the channel.
Yeah, because I figure once it's official,
she can't leave.
She'll get dumpy when she finds out what kind of weirdo friends you have.
I know. Yeah, we don't do the Jack jokes anymore. We cut that out. It doesn't make sense to make someone who doesn't show up at the show anymore. All right. Well, that being said, if you haven't already hit the like button or subscribed, or it's your first time being here and you're wondering what's going on, we do talk about comic books on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we make fun of Zach when he shows up, which is like few and far between. I think this is the second one in like 2 months. Second appearance of Zach. So we're kind of we should grace, be lucky, no? Tomorrow night we'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll have a reading going on here, and Saturday morning we'll there won't be anything this week for Saturday morning. Actually, I don't know. I might have something in the vault, but we didn't record anything. I overslept last night. I passed out. I had Domino's, and I just immediately crashed afterwards. And I was like, okay. So, but Saturday night will be the return of the TMNT Ninja Turtles, and then another reading on Saturday night or Sunday night or some. Yeah. So a lot of cool stuff coming up this week. Subscribe to the channel, and the list is on the homepage of the channel. It shows exactly exact times when we go live. So, with that being said, go check out our reading from last night, a Scout program. I know it's like almost 3 hours, but hey, you have a whole week to watch it, or whenever you want to. You're not forced to watch all at once. But I'll see you guys later. Thank you for being here, and leave a comment down below telling us what you thought of this week's books. Later.
Good night, kids.